top 3 with $13.5 million. I'm Andy Rose.
3 before the hour, now Paul Harlan and something which didn't quite make the Hollywood Minute.
We're sorry we missed this one, but Friday night there was a free showing of the movie Sinister in Chicago. Did we mention that the showing was at a cemetery? The locale was the Bohemian National Cemetery, but viewers didn't have to pull up a tombstone to be comfortable. The show took place at the cemetery's picnic area, which brings up the question, how many cemeteries even have a picnic area? I'm Paul Harlan.
Well, every cemetery has aunts and uncles. Have you noticed today's roses are pretty enough? They're pretty, but that's it. Till now, that researchers have figured out a way to use DNA to bring back that wonderful rose aroma. Well, that should do it for America in the Morning for this Monday, August 17th of 2015. And we know that people are camera crazy these days, but a Lorain, Ohio man is in a new category, accused of recording video of a car wreck, but doing nothing for the victims. Our producer is Tom Delac, associate producer, and webmaster Paul Hill. Senior producer is Kevin Delaney. Happy birthday to Robert De Niro, 72 today. Follow me on Twitter at Jimbo Talks. I'm Jimbo Hannon, and this is Westwood One.
Hi, this is Leslie Segretti.
And I'm Tom Kreitler with today's Money Pit Minute.
Looking to save on your electric bill and keep the lights on? We'll shed some light on the solution after this.
Chehalis Sheet Metal doesn't tell the whole story.
Electrical needs, roofing repair or replacement, poor heating and cooling efficiency. You see, nothing about the name Chehalis Sheet Metal tells the whole story. If you're hearing this ad, you're in the CSM local area. You don't have to live in Chehalis. And all those cooling, heating, and roofing needs are superbly taken care of at CSM. Reputable, 53 years, dependable, and waiting to help right now. ChehalisSheetMetal.com. ChehalisSheetMetal.com.
Exterior drainage problems can lead to a host of serious issues for your home. Your foundation, wall framing, and siding are particularly vulnerable. To prevent these problems, keep gutters clean and water flowing away from your house.
You can do it yourself.
But don't do it alone. For more tips, go to MoneyPit.com.
The Dave Ramsey Show is live from noon to 3, weekdays on 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, and now in Thurston County on 92.9.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. Air travel is getting back on track after a weekend of hurry up and wait for thousands of travelers. They got stranded at airports for hours when about 1,000 flights were delayed or canceled because of a computer crash. ABC's David Gurley says it stopped traffic cold in the D.C. area.
What the FAA is telling us is that they did an upgrade of software at a center outside of Washington, D.C., and that caused the problem. It caused the system to go down. It'd be similar to your iPhone if you update an app and all of a sudden your phone doesn't work. Not good. You really want to use your phone. They wanted to use that system. Fortunately, it happened on a Saturday when traffic is a little bit less.
A growing cloud of smoke is wafting over the Pacific Northwest from a raft of wildfires. Flames are racing through parts of California, Montana, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington State, where more than 50 homes have gone up in flames. ABC's Alex Stone tells us triple-digit temperatures are making it tougher for firefighters.
The problem for firefighters here right now is the extreme heat in valleys around L.A., 106 degrees, and at nighttime it's in the 80s. Palm Springs has been closing in on 120 degrees. Just incredible heat. It makes containing wildfires extremely difficult. Firefighters have to get out and physically dig fire line to stop the flames.
Angry residents who lost homes in the catastrophic explosions at a hazardous chemical warehouse in China are demanding compensation and answers from government officials. They want to know why they weren't told they were living so close to danger. Morgan Freeman is mourning the stabbing death of his step-granddaughter in New York. In a statement, he said the world will never know how much she had to offer. Going back to school is a headache for some kids. A study found hospitals see an increase in ER visits of kids with headaches in September, possibly caused by sleep changes, stress, and screen time. Oscar Pistorius is due to be released from a South African prison this week after serving 10 months of a 5-year sentence in the shooting death of his girlfriend. He'll be wearing an electronic monitor. This is ABC News.
When you're running your own business, you're bound to be busy. Too busy. Too busy worrying about your budget. Too busy scheduling appointments. Too busy to build a website for your business. And because you're too busy, it has to be easy. And that's where Wix.com comes in. With Wix.com, it's easy for you to create your stunning website. Go to Wix.com and create your website today. It's easy and free. That's Wix.com.
Gorgeous! Oh, you are the most beautiful bride I've ever photographed.
Oh!
Yes! I am witnessing a fairy tale unfold.
Oh, I don't want this day to end.
Okay, work the veil. Okay, now sniff the bouquet.
Oh, okay.
Join my rewards program?
Wait, what?
Well, for your next wedding.
How about a rewards program you'll actually use every day? Introducing Plenty. Earn points at lots of places, including AT&T, Exxon, Macy's, Mobile, Nationwide, Rite Aid, and Hulu. There's plenty together. Learn more at plentywithani.com. Terms and conditions apply.
A pro football player is tackling parenting in an unusual way. ABC's Scott Goldberg has his story.
He's a beast on the field, but James Harrison appears to be a pretty good dad. That's him launching one of his sons into a swimming pool.
Y'all want daddy to play football?
This is another Instagram video in which he asks his kids if he should come out of retirement.
Yes, yeah.
One of the Pittsburgh linebacker's latest posts says, I came home to find out my boys received 2 trophies for nothing. Participation trophies, ! He said the trophies are going back because everything in life should be earned. Sometimes you need to do better, not cry and whine until somebody gives you something to shut you up and keep you happy. Scott Goldberg, ABC News.
Apple could be closer than many thought to producing self-driving cars in what's called Project Titan. The company recently reached out to an automotive testing center called Gomentum Station east of San Francisco, asking permission to use it, and has also contacted major car companies. One Apple official called it the ultimate mobile device. Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
For KMAS Newsradio.com, I'm Mary Lynn Foster. Splash of Mason County has reached a milestone. The organization created to help save the Shelton Pool has surpassed its current fundraising goal of $100,000. They went over the top with a fundraiser held by the Ridge Motorsports Park. The Splash Board credits the community-wide effort and the strong support and generosity of the community for making this possible. Brad Miller, Splash Vice President, said to raise over $100,000 in just over 2 months' time is really phenomenal and speaks well of this community. Though the current fundraising goal has been reached, Splash continues to plan for future capital repairs at the pool. Donations of any amount can be sent to Splash, P.O. Box 1982, Shelton 98584. To volunteer, to help, or to find out more about Splash, email can be directed to splash98584@yahoo.com. Find that information with this story on our website at KMAS.com. At least 20 homes and businesses have burned and over 150 homes remain threatened in a series of fires in Chelan County. The fires were sparked by lightning, and more fire crews, including from the Washington National Guard, are being mobilized to fight the 6 fires burning in the area, including the Wolverine Fire and the First Creek Fire. According to reports yesterday, the Reach Complex, a series of fires around Chelan, had grown to about 54,500 acres. On Saturday, more than 1,000 people were evacuated in the Chelan area after a series of fires sprung up and merged. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has approved a number of requests to help the state pay for wildfire fighting costs. Homelessness and lack of affordable housing continues to be a problem in the area. Toby Kevin and Marilyn Vogler are on the Poverty Advisory Team, and they recently talked with people who are homeless during roundtable discussions to learn more about their situations. Vogler told Daybreak what she learned.
There was a vet there talking about the fine tent and sleeping bag he'd gotten through a program for vets at Memorial Hall. He had really no place he could put it because it's illegal to trespass on land you don't own and pitch a tent there. There were 3 or 4 people who had trailers, RVs, portable housing, but again, no land that was legal to put them on. There were people who had some rent money, but there's not enough subsidized low-income housing.
You can hear the full interview on the Daybreak page at KMAS.com. The Poverty Advisory Team meets every other Wednesday at the Civic Center at 3:30 p.m. The public is welcome. The next meeting is this Wednesday. For 1030 KMAS, FM 104.1, and in Thurston County on 92.9, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
Take KMAS wherever you go with our new free KMAS mobile app. It's a free download from either your Apple or Android device. Check out the latest news, connect with KMAS, and even listen wherever you have a signal. Search KMAS in your app store and download our free KMAS app today.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch Daybreak live. Follow the link on KMAS.com or search KMAS Radio on YouTube.
Gillis Auto Center in Shelton. Best deals, best price, best trade, and low payments. Just go to Gillis. And when you think trucks, think family-owned Gillis Auto Center with a huge selection of the award-winning Ram and F-Series in stock now and huge trade-ins during this event. Just go to Gillis. Huge rebates and low rates. 0% APR on new and 1.9% on used at the City Center Matlock exit and GillisAutoCenter.com. See Gillis for details. Subject to lender approval.
Seizing the day. Hi, everybody. Todd Ant reporting on sports. It was a day of reckoning for Australian Jason Day, who put a smackdown on the Whistling Straits course to win his first major at the PGA Championship in Wisconsin.
I'm a major winner now, and it's a good feeling. It's just the amount of work that I've put into my game ever since I was a 12-year-old kid to be able to be here in this position. Winning my first major is just really special.
Day also broke Tiger Woods' major championship record for most strokes under par at 20 under. Jordan Spieth finished 3 shots back, but moved ahead of Rory McIlroy in the rankings.
To be number one in the world as a team, this is fantastic, and it certainly was a lifelong goal of mine.
Matt Kuchar and Dustin Johnson tied for 7th. Baseball, the Royals tied the Angels at 3 in the 9th in Kansas City. Then the next inning,
opposite field, base hit to left. Royals are going to win it.
On 6:10, KCSP and Kendrys Morales wins it for the Royals 4-3 over the Angels. There was a fire sale on the south side of Chicago. The Cubs' 9-game winning streak came to an end.
The 1-2. Fastball strike 3. He's got 15. For the third time in 7, he has struck out the side.
On WSCR, and Chris Sale tossed 7 shutout innings in the White Sox 3-1 win over their city rivals. Giants ace Madison Bumgarner led the Giants to a 5-0 shutout win over Washington, and Bumgarner continues to help his own cause at the plate.
Bumgarner hits a high drive left field. This one is gone. Yeah, he's the best hitting pitcher.
On KNBR, Bumgarner also tied a career-high 14 strikeouts and a 3-hitter. The Nats have lost 6 in a row. The Blue Jays are back within a half game of first place in the AL East, thanks in part to Joey Bats.
Fly ball deep left center field. That's heading for the wall, and yes, sir, there she goes. A 2-run home run for Jose Bautista.
On Sportsnet 590, the Fan, and Toronto avoids a 3-game sweep with a 3-1 victory over the Yankees. Zach Greinke improved to 13-2 with the Dodgers' 2-1 win over the Reds. NASCAR pole sitter Matt Kenseth, the Sprint Cup winner in Michigan. Kevin Harvick's second, Martin Truex was third. Todd Ant, ABC Sports.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, there's Jeff again.
Yeah. Well, we don't know exactly what kind of a sheep he is. Maybe not the black sheep, but... For Newsradio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, 92.9 FM in Thurston County, audio and video this morning on KMAS.com. Welcome back, my friend. How are you?
Thank you. I'm well, and I heard the Mariners, Hisashi Iwakuma, right? 5th Mariner, no-hitter last week.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I wish the season could have ended on that one.
That would have been the best last game of the year forever. Things didn't go quite the, so wind in their sails and good smooth sailing over to Boston after the no-hitter.
Sure, everybody's feeling good.
Oh, goodness gracious. Optimistic. We've won 3 series in a row. Mariners could win the rest of the games forever and say, then reality struck. Here's a number, 45.
Was that the Seahawks score?
No. Unfortunately, that was the number of runs Boston amassed in 3 games. 45 runs in 3 games.
It's not even possible.
16-1, 22-10. I got a story about that. And then had a 7-0 lead, Seattle did yesterday, and blew that, only to prevail after 12 innings.
A win's a win.
10-8. So... Yeah, 16 runs, 22 runs, and then they only gave up 8 runs yesterday.
Well, good. Well, that means they are getting better.
They're getting closer, and my goodness gracious. So there was offense by Seattle, not as much as
Sounds
there
like it was very offensive.
No, it was an ugly start to the series. Franklin Gutierrez, though, got 2 home runs and drove in 4 yesterday as Seattle blew the 7-0 lead, had to go to extra innings, and the first 2 games combined was 37-11. 10-8 yesterday we win. RBIs from Robinson Cano, Nelson Cruz, both hitting for home runs. By the way, Nelson Cruz now league leading 36th home run.
Okay.
So that was the offensive part of things, not counting the pitching, which was pretty offensive as well.
Before the end of this hour, if you could tell me where he's at on his contract, that would be great.
Okay.
Because why wouldn't they trade him right away?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I'd like to know that.
He's the only one. Anyway, so Mariners had to grab a red eye right out of Boston. Well, it was about 4 in the afternoon, but I think they were crying because of how terrible they did. Anyway, I think they surfaced in Texas, if I'm not mistaken, today.
What's today?
Today is August
the 17th?
Yes.
4 o'clock pregame.
Yes. And first pitch at 5:05. We'll have it for you here on the old radio station. LPGA Tour was in Portland this past weekend. The Cambia Portland Classic. And Brooke Henderson won by 8 strokes, 3rd youngest champion in LPGA Tour history. Congratulations to her. She's a Canadian, but that's okay. We won't hold that against her. Seattle Storm. Storm past the Stars. That's it. Yeah. 72-63, big win for Seattle Storm, beating San Antonio, and that has raised the record to 7 wins against only 19 losses for them. What other good news do we have for you? Well, the Seattle Sounders finally won a game. First time in 4 matches that they'd won. And it was kind of a wipeout, 4-0. Obi Martins scores 2 goals in his first game since the middle of June, back with Sounders, and they beat Orlando City yesterday, snapping a club record losing streak at 5, I guess. I lost track. Seattle's 11-12-2. And that's the first time they've won since they beat DC United 1-0 on July 3rd. Only win in that stretch of 9 games. Martins now is with a team leading 9 goals. And that's about how things went over the weekend, except for an awful offensive. Speaking of offensive, Seattle Seahawks debuted preseason.
Watched that. Was able to find that one.
Stumbled and bumbled their way through a 22-20 loss to Denver at home, and it wasn't even that close. It was ugly, and we've got probably we're out there shopping for another backup quarterback this morning, as Tavares Jackson is we got a bad ankle sprain.
Oh no.
We don't know the extent of the damage. We're kind of being hush-hush about the whole thing. He didn't break it. That's what we know. But we don't know much more beyond that. So, he got carried out on a stretcher.
It was so confusing trying to... Well, I missed that part.
Yeah. So
we were still trying to wrap our heads around this Lockett guy.
Yeah. He was...
Because there's 2 of them.
Yeah. And the young rookie did really well. That was a bright spot for Seattle. Lockett and this Tom Rawls, who was trying to beat Kristen Michael out for the 3rd running back position. He scored the only touchdown for Seattle except for the run back by Lockett. So there was a couple of moments that were good, but the offensive line was just like, bad news. So that's a capsulation of what it all was, and the congratulations to Jason Day, I was so happy to see him win.
Sure.
And it was historic. It was he won with a 20 under for largest score under par in a major in history of golf.
20 under.
20 under. Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome.
Gee, man, Chris.
And it was a good he and Jordan Spieth did the final round together. It was great theater to watch the 2 of them battle it out. And for Jordan's part, he's very good sport about the whole thing. He pushed and pushed and pushed the whole match. He ends up now ranked number 1 in the world, and his score under par in all of his majors is 54 under. in all the majors. That beats the record that was set by Tiger in 2000 of 53 under par.
Ooh.
So two
Passing
historical
the torch
moments.
there? Is that what's going
There
on?
was a lot of torch passing going on yesterday.
Yep,
All right, so that's sports. What do you got?
Torch passing down in Venice.
Well, imagine there's a lot of stuff going on down in Venice,
A lot of
California.
passing going on. All right, good morning to you. It's wonderful, and I mean that, to be back. It's hot here. Holy cazzola.
Yeah. We don't fool around.
No, clear skies now, about 50. We're going to warm up to 85 today. It was 81 yesterday. Expecting the 90s tomorrow and maybe even Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thursday brings more sunshine and through the next week as well. Woo. Good morning to you.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from the southernmost tide pool of Puget Sound, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good Monday to you. It is Daybreak here. Happy to be back.
Monday. Hi, Jeff.
Hey
Slinky.
there. Hey, friends.
All right, I'm back in my stead where I belong.
I'm happy to be back in mine.
And safe travels. It was good. Good to see you back. Everybody was good, and Kaiser had a successful trip to SoCal and back.
Yeah, we had a good trip, for the most part. Let's see, he slept about a half hour on the flight down, but then didn't really make much noise. We were kind of looking out the window, and on the way back, he was the crying baby for the first 10 minutes or so, but then we just kind of pumped him full of milk, and he passed out for an hour, which was nice. And
did you go to sleep too?
I did. I was able to fall asleep too, holding him, and so that was good. Boy.
Yeah.
Folks, be fortunate. Be appreciative of where we live. Because it is different down there. And I am a different person, but it is different down there. We were about a couple, 3 blocks or so away from the Venice beach boardwalk thing, where you always see in the movies.
Yeah, people roller skating.
And I mean, it's just massive amounts
there's like
of
a drug
people.
deal going down, and the cops are chasing them, and they're running through the crowd.
I didn't see any of that. I did see, and I didn't see any Baywatch people in their red swimsuits, but I saw a Baywatch truck.
Did you?
Yeah, so that was kind
the
of cool.
Baywatch babes are like 50 now, right?
Yeah, so I think they keep them in. They don't roll them out very much.
Cancer or something like that.
No, it was a wonderful trip, and the wedding that we went to, my goodness, it was at the beautiful campus of Loyola Marymount.
Wow.
Overlooking the City of Angels, and it was just a beautiful, my gosh, a nice campus.
Yeah, it looked pretty in the pictures.
Yeah, Gonzaga basketball, which we air here on KMAS. They often play Loyola, and they're a great team to play against.
Yeah,
in the WCC. So that was kind of cool to be there and go, oh, okay.
Yeah, this is where Loyola.
Now I know where this is. I didn't think it was. I thought it was a fake school. So that's what's going on there. But yeah, definitely be appreciative.
Close to fires or no?
No, not close to fires, but we definitely saw a handful flying here and there. And I took a couple photos above, overlooking some big fires in the Fresno area. And I heard that, we are still not out of the woods, but we got a good heavy dose of rain on Friday here.
There was, yes.
Still not enough to do anything, really.
No, it was a change of pace for us. And I think welcome for the most part by a lot of people, although the lightning was a little freaky. And thunder.
Sure. As we were leaving on the tarmac Wednesday, it was raining pretty good. And there was a good-sized hail, pebble-sized hail coming down.
Crazy.
It kind of delayed us a little. And saw the water end of Route 66, the Santa Monica Pier.
All right.
So that was kind of cool, to see those. Everybody talks about Route 66. And
the Santa Monica Pier is famous.
It is, I guess. And yeah, but I am so happy to be back. Everybody's tasting water, they test it, and it's supposedly, clean of any kind of grossness. But our water here, bar none, is so good. Yeah. I could barely drink coffee down there because it just tastes weird. The coffee, the water that comes out of the tap.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's overpopulation, overheat.
Over everything.
And
I'm over it. All right. Today on the show, real estate radio resources with our friend Brian LaFlame.
Yes.
And then Lynn Longan in as well today. Throughout the rest of the week, some great conversations. Tammy Newton will be in tomorrow. Harbor Days is upcoming, so we'll talk with Shelley Lively tomorrow weekend as well. And then a lot more good stuff going on. So pretty good day today. 85 will be the high.
Saw a good crowd gathered for the Rock and Minerals show. You missed that over the weekend.
Yeah, sure.
But we had a lot of fun with the interview, and we did kind of a video-audio combo on the air live.
Did he bring some
He was
rocks?
showing rocks, and he was showing them on the... Well, I was messing with because I was having trouble with the video. So Carol was doing a telephone video thing, and he was showing the rocks while we were on the air.
Fun.
Yeah, so that was kind of fun. And then I noticed we went by there Saturday and it was a good crowd there.
Good.
So
well, that's awesome.
Yeah. Governor meets with the legislative leaders today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, it's August.
Wait a second. I thought the session was
dragging
over.
us in now? Anyway, they're going to be disgusted. No, they're going to discuss how to address Supreme Court sanctions. You may have heard of these before you left. They announced last week education funding. A unanimous court said the state would be sanctioned $100,000 a day until the state comes into compliance with the court's requirement for a full plan on education.
Boy, I did not hear that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So actually, the legislature was kind of blindsided by this.
Well, the AG didn't the AG before I left? He was like, "Oh, things look pretty good here. Supreme Court, don't worry about it."
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Supreme Court was, we are worried about it.
and here's how much we're worried about it.
Get Mr. Inslee on the phone. We need to speak with him.
The state would be sanctioned $100,000 a day that the state obviously has just laying around.
Oh, sure.
And where will this money end up?
That's what I think
Here's a
tidy bowl comes to mind.
This just popped into my head.
Okay.
What if they sanctioned the state parties?
Yeah.
Because they're the ones who are running the government, right?
Right.
Not the state. It's not us taxpayers that didn't get the job done. It's the legislators.
Yeah.
Sanction them.
Yes. There you go. Good idea.
How about that one?
Get on the line and call the Supreme Court. They've misfired. They
mis-sanctioned.
Yeah, they mis-sanctioned. They got refocused.
Sanctioned the Senate, sanctioned the House.
There you go.
50,000 apiece.
Yeah, break it up amongst you guys and girls.
You're the ones who screwed it up. Yeah. That just popped in.
That's a good idea.
Well, I haven't been at work for a few days, so I'm full of it.
Fresh, yeah.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
I'm Kyle McGovern with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Week 1 of the preseason wrapped up Sunday with the Eagles defeating the Colts 36-10. Sam Bradford didn't play, so Mark Sanchez got the start for Philly. Sanchez completing only 2 of his 7 throws compared to the Colts starter Andrew Luck, who went 5 for 6 on the day. However, the big story centered around the return of Tim Tebow, who received a standing ovation from the Eagles faithful. Tebow was 6 for 12 in pass attempts, totaling 69 yards. He also went in for a rushing touchdown. However, the popular QB was sacked 3 times. In other quarterback news, the Chargers locked up their franchise signal caller, Phillip Rivers, for another 4 years. Rivers agreed to an $83 million extension that will keep him in San Diego through 2019. The deal includes $65 million in guarantees. And don't forget to tune in to NFL Total Access Monday as we break down all the highlights from the first full week of the preseason at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Rust. It can turn a 10-minute fix into a knuckle-busting, tirade-inducing, all-day affair. But with PB Blaster penetrating catalyst for just $3.99 a can at Napa, you can cut through rust with ease and get $3 back with a mail-in rebate. With PB Blaster for $3.99, your 10-minute fix will take just 10 minutes to fix. Conquer the job with Napa know-how. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 8/31/15.
When the leading antihistamine and Nasacort go nose-to-nose, Nasacort wins, stopping more of the chemical responses that can cause your nasal allergy symptoms. And when you stop more causes, you get 24-hour relief from sneezing, an itchy runny nose, even congestion. It's prescription strength medicine available over the counter. Nasacort Allergy 24-hour. Stops more of what makes you miserable. Use as directed.
A breast cancer diagnosis can be life-changing, but there is great assurance in knowing you have the best local general surgeons to care for you. Mason General Hospital has 2 highly qualified, board-certified surgeons skilled in general surgeries of the breast, stomach, and colon, to name a few. This team's extensive knowledge of treatment options and surgical skill, along with compassionate care, will put you right at ease. To schedule a consultation, call the surgery clinic at 426-4142. And if surgery is required, you know you are in the best of hands.
Mason General Hospital Surgery Clinic is part of Mason General Hospital and family of clinics. Equal opportunity provider, translation services provided.
Mason General and family of clinics.
Daybreak with Jeff and Dale, live and local, weekdays from 6 to 9 on 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, and now in Thurston County on 92.9.
Hi, this is Doctor of Ophthalmology at Mason General Hospital, Monica Vong, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, 8:28 here. We got the latest in local news just about a minute away with Mary Lynn Foster on another warm day here in the beautiful South Sound. It's going to be 85 today. Expect to be about 90 tomorrow and Wednesday.
Yeah, so summer continues.
Still goes.
In the Northwest. And my gosh, so extreme high temperatures, drought conditions, fires.
Any new fires since I've been gone?
I can't keep track. There are so many. They did a pan shot of a map on national news last night, and the most little flames designating major fires were in Washington. Idaho, Oregon, California, Wyoming, they all had fires. Washington had the most. And we have the biggest area that is ablaze right now. It's just absolutely crazy. I feel so bad for the people around Chelan being evacuated, homes being burned up, and they're getting notices to get out of there and all that stuff. And they're not the only ones. I mean, there's people, Idaho's burning up like crazy, and there's fires everywhere. We'll try to get we'll round it all up for you after the news with Mary Lynn Foster. A couple of sports notes, and we'll kind of rehash the Seahawks debacle from Friday night when we come back on Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
For KMAS Newsradio.com, I'm Mary Lynn Foster. Splash of Mason County has reached a milestone. The organization, created to help save the Shelton Pool, has surpassed its current fundraising goal of $100,000. They went over the top with a fundraiser held by the Ridge Motorsports Park. The Splash Board credits the community-wide effort and the strong support and generosity of the community for making this possible. Brad Miller, Splash Vice President, said to raise over $100,000 speaks well of this community. Though the current fundraising goal has been reached, Splash continues to plan for future capital repairs at the pool. Donations of any amount can be sent to Splash, P.O. Box 1982, Shelton 98584. To volunteer, to help, or to find out more about Splash, email can be directed to splash98584@yahoo.com. Find that information with this story on our website at KMAS.com. At least 20 homes and businesses have burned, and over 150 homes remain threatened in a series of fires in Chelan County. The fires were sparked by lightning, and more fire crews, including from the Washington National Guard, are being mobilized to fight the 6 fires burning in the area, including the Wolverine Fire and the First Creek Fire. According to reports yesterday, the Reach Complex, a series of fires around Chelan, had grown to about 54,500 acres. On Saturday, more than 1,000 people were evacuated in the Chelan area after a series of fires sprung up and merged. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has approved a number of requests to help the state pay for wildfire fighting costs. Homelessness and lack of affordable housing continues to be a problem in the area. Toby Kevin and Marilyn Vogler are on the Poverty Advisory Team, and they recently talked with people who are homeless during roundtable discussions to learn more about their situations. Vogler told Daybreak what she learned.
There was a vet there talking about the fine tent and sleeping bag he'd gotten through a program for vets at Memorial Hall. He had really no place he could put it because it's illegal to trespass on land you don't own and pitch a tent there. There were 3 or 4 people who had trailers, RVs, portable housing, but again, no land that was legal to put them on. There were people who had some rent money, but there's not enough subsidized low-income housing.
You can hear the full interview on the Daybreak page at KMAS.com. The Poverty Advisory Team meets every other Wednesday at the Civic Center at 3:30 p.m. The public is welcome. The next meeting is this Wednesday. For 1030 KMAS, FM 104.1, and in Thurston County on 92.9, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
I'm attorney Harold Carr. During the past 25 years, more than 8,000 people have trusted me to handle their personal injury cases. I understand how an injury can disrupt your life and cause financial hardship for you and your family. At the law firm of Harold Carr, we have 5 attorneys and 19 staff members experienced with negotiating and litigating with insurance companies. So if you feel the insurance company is not dealing with you fairly, call me, Harold Carr. Let us deal with the insurance company so you won't have to.
Car accident? Call Carr or visit us online at haroldcarrattorney.com.
Just in time for fall hunting and fishing, Lucky Eagle Casino has great news.
We're featuring wildlife-themed events and giveaways all month long in August.
Enter daily to win your share of 50 grand in prizes in our Huntin' for Bucks giveaway and earn points on your favorite machines for camo gear every Tuesday.
Meet travel and hunter Tony Smotherman August 28th. Then join us on the 29th and 30th for our outdoor sportsman show.
Lucky Eagle Casino and Hotel, I-5 to exit 88 Rochester, Washington. Details at luckyeagle.com.
For Newsradio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, 92.9 FM, Thurston County, and our stream on audio and video this morning, KMAS.com. Good morning, I'm Dale Hubbard, 634. Mariners win a crazy one yesterday to get out of Boston, 10-8. I lose track, all the runs.
That's a lot.
This way, that way. 10-8 was the final 12 innings in the game, and it was a 7-0 cruise control game for most of the day yesterday, and then Seattle has a way of making it interesting,
making it a game,
and so there you go. They win 1 of 3 in Boston and gave up, I don't even know, 4 touchdowns and a couple of field goals. So there you go. And they're off to Texas for 3 before coming back home for this coming weekend. So we'll have the first pitch for you at 5:05 today. We'll begin our coverage at 4 o'clock from Arlington, Texas, where it's sweltering.
I can imagine.
Yeah, indeed. All right. I'm tuned in here to the Hawk Blogger. Unflinching analysis of all things Seahawks. How worried should you be about the Seahawks offensive line? That's the headline.
Okay.
Brian Nemhauser is the author. And so here we go. Seahawks quarterbacks sacked 7 times Friday.
Wow.
Fans rightfully curious about the state of the offensive line and what they saw in that first game. Churned more stomachs in the Puget Sound than a Red Mill burger.
I got that one. That was a good one.
Some are asking for reassurance that the line can be saved. Others telling everyone to stop worrying about a preseason game. Few undeniable truths that should help everyone reach a more balanced view on just how troublesome this offensive line might be. 2 primary jobs for our O-lines. That's create space for your running game and to protect your quarterback in the passing game. The part that has fans upset about the Seahawks line is the pass protection. Unwise only to consider half of the equation, though, when judging the line. We were in the top 4 in rushing in each of the last 3 seasons. And the line deserves credit for some of that, although Marshawn Lynch has been cited as being the primary reason for all the rushing success. And then Wilson's legs definitely contribute to the total as far as, he did a lot of rushing as a quarterback, especially last year. And so sometimes the line is just misplaced as pointing to sacks and saying they're all the fault of the line. Sometimes you can't find a receiver. Sometimes the receivers don't get open. Sometimes the quarterback holds the ball too long.
Yeah.
A lot of things happen. So the valid concern around the running game is that the team's highest-rated run blocker was traded. That's Max Unger, our all-star center, ranked 4th among centers, and so that hurts, no doubt about it. Not nearly enough opportunity to judge, really. They had Lemuel, Jean-Pierre, Alvin Bailey. They were in their first preseason game, and there's Justin Britt, J.R. Sweezy, Russell Okung. So they're all part of the running game, too. And Tom Cable is probably giving them an earful this morning as we speak.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So there you go. There's certainly cause for concern, but not any reason for panic. It was the first preseason game of the year. It was horrible, but it's not the end of the world. Now, Tavares Jackson, a little bit banged up and wobbly, and so we got to think about that. And that was part of that sack thing. He got his ankle rolled over on, and so he was carried out on a stretcher Friday night.
That's scary.
And we only had one other quarterback on the roster because we're only carrying 3 quarterbacks. So we've got to check things out. We got to start looking for another quarterback out there in the free market today. And so that's what we'll do. And it'll be a temporary situation and just kind of an insurance policy, kind of a quarterback. Tim Tebow's off the market. He did well for the Philadelphia Eagles last night. So he's not available. And Johnny Football did good for Cleveland on Friday night. So he's not available either. So I don't know who we're going to get, but it'll be somebody with some experience, I suspect. Maybe Matt Flynn's looking for work. He got cut.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Who was the guy that Ryan? No, not Ryan Leaf. Who's the guy that quit because he didn't have the passion? Matt?
Yeah. Who was that?
He was the Tennessee guy, right?
Jake Locker.
Yeah.
He's up in Ferndale right now as we speak.
But if he doesn't have the passion, then.
But if he doesn't have, but
maybe he's got Seahawks passion again.
Yeah, and maybe, hey, listen, for a couple $100,000, just hold the fort down during spring training here, and
yeah, that's true.
You don't have to worry about it after that.
He may reignite the passion.
Yeah, for a couple $100,000, I'll do it. Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
All right, South Sound forecast and a good morning to you. Going to be another hot one here in the South Sound. 85 clear sky, 90 tomorrow, probably on Wednesday as well. Thursday and into next week, we'll see more sunshine. Took a look at the forecast in Arlington because it's always stormy down there when the Mariners seem to come by. It's going to be about 100 for their series today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So about 100, but the thunderstorms don't come in till Thursday.
It's a dry heat.
It is going to be a very dry heat down there.
100 degrees.
100 degrees.
Really?
It's already 77 down there.
People go to a game when it's 100 degrees.
It's 50 here. Yeah, because I don't think the stadium in Arlington the ballpark in Arlington is beautiful. Not covered.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but it's not covered.
It's hot.
So if it's hot outside, it's hot inside.
Yeah, so they'll be okay. They'll get the games in. No delays. Just checking on that for us here. It's 50 right now.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email, or Facebook. Now, from the artesian waters of South Puget Sound, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. 6:41 here on a Monday morning. It's the 17th of August. Happy to be back. Good morning, Dale.
Good morning, Jefferoo.
I really am happy to be back.
Well, we're happy to have you.
I need a vacation from my vacation.
Isn't that the way, though? Isn't it always that way?
I didn't know that. I didn't understand what that meant.
You do now.
Until baby. Until Kaiser.
Yeah.
Because, if it's just me and Steph or just me, then you just kind of, no worries.
Yeah.
But there is a lot more involved when there's kids.
Little kids.
I think this is our first vacation with him.
Yeah.
Definitely the first plane ride.
So there was a 24/7 feeling about the whole thing.
The place that we stayed, we were in the same house-ish thing that my brother and his wife and my nieces were, and my sister. So, we wanted to be cognizant of that, and we kept all the windows open because there's no AC in these houses, folks. So we were staying in a flat that was part of a house that was a kind of subletted, and there's no AC.
I can't understand that.
This house sells for $1.3 million,
and no air
and there's no AC.
That's amazing.
And it's just stagnant. So we had fans going the whole time, and the windows open. And so anytime Kaiser made a noise at night, we were very cognizant to try to say, okay, because people are sleeping.
Like
and
he gets that.
Like he knows what the word quiet means. And so the other weird thing is that, and I think this is a trend because I've heard about it in hotels. Everything's being flipped to down comforters. These beds had down comforters.
Oh my gosh! In
it's
Venice,
100 degrees.
California.
Oh my gosh! So, and that's why everybody is so fit down there.
Chill
because they sweat 5 pounds of water
a minute
during the overnight.
Isn't that something? Yeah.
But we're definitely happy to be back. Took Kaiser to Disneyland, as far as he knows.
What's that mean now?
Well, the nieces went to Disneyland.
And your oldest niece now, she's
she was 5. It was her birthday.
Perfect. 5 years old.
On Disney on the day they went to Disney. They spent 13 hours at Disneyland.
Oh.
And so my sister-in-law knew they were going, so months in advance booked all the meet and greets with the princesses, and so they had a great time. And
man,
so
cool.
Kaiser felt a little left out. So my dad took him to the Disney store and told him it was Disneyland.
Well, that's close enough.
They walked around a whole bunch, stood in line for a few hours.
Well, just like the real experience then. See, guys, this is what we do. We go to the line, stand in line and see all this Disney stuff.
The next time you come to Disneyland, it's going to be totally different for you.
Yeah.
Whatever. That was fun. Man, that's
good stuff there.
So in Santa Monica, I mean, I was really surprised that I didn't see more beautiful people. There's plenty of non-beautiful people in Venice and Venice Beach, and
that's so beautiful.
And I didn't see very many that I could have gone, wow, that person may be on television.
Yeah, you're an actor working as a dishwasher or something.
Yeah.
None of that. You didn't see a lot of the actors.
Didn't see a lot of that.
And like you say, there were no Baywatch babes to be spotted. What the heck? How about Haas? Was he?
Didn't see Hasselhoff at all.
Hoff. What do they call him? The Hoff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lots of
no celebrity sightings then in your little. Well, you're close to all the action there.
Right there, and apparently Richard Dreyfuss has a place. So just behind the Venice kind of boardwalk, there are these canals that move through Venice, and it's pretty beautiful. And I guess
they have water in them.
Yeah, there is water in there. I did take a lot of photos along the way in the airplane looking down of just empty. What looks like it should be a body of water.
Yeah,
nothing.
Yeah.
Saw the LA reservoir river, not the reservoir, but the rivers, and they're all dry.
Well, they got shade balls.
Yeah.
That's a great story this morning.
And we'll tell you more about the shade balls in LA, which are doing great stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And cheap, a lot cheaper than other options. I'll tell you about that coming up.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Habitat for Humanity of Mason County is excited to partner with the Port of Shelton for Habitat Takes Flight on September 12th. Come to Sanderson Field for a wide variety of community activities, including vendors, a static air show, free plane rides for kids 8 to 18, a car show, live music, food and beverage, and so much more. Admission is just $5 and wristbands are available at your Belfair and Shelton Habitat stores. Save the date and come see us at Sanderson Field September 12th as Habitat takes flight.
Long days and lots of sunshine mean the outdoors are practically calling your name. Summertime in the Northwest is the ultimate season for hiking, biking, water sports, and more. It's also a great time of year for a wellness checkup, and the healthcare teams of Capital Physician Services have got you covered, from Hawks Prairie to McCleary. Whether you want to lose weight, quit smoking, become more physically active, or better manage high blood pressure, the first step in reaching your goal is a wellness appointment with a provider who can be your healthcare partner. Working together with your Capital Physician Services provider, you'll develop a plan to achieve success by incorporating better nutrition, making lifestyle changes, or utilizing medication. Find a clinic near you by going online to capitalphysicianservices.com. They'll help you get the most enjoyment out of your summer adventures and lead an active and healthy life year-round. Learn more at capitalphysicianservices.com. Most insurances are accepted, and same-day appointments are often available.
Daybreak with Jeff and Dale, live and local, weekdays from 6 to 9 on 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, and now in Thurston County on 92.9.
I feel right at home on JohnLScott.com.
Hi, this is Dawn Pinnell from John L. Scott Real Estate here in Shelton. For a while now, I have been saying welcome home and sharing with you some great listings and some hopefully educational and interesting items of riveting radio real estate topics. We're moving our time slot to Friday at 8:55, right at the end of the morning show with Jeff and Dale. I hope you will continue to listen and that you will contact me with any of your real estate needs. I would love to help you say, I'm home.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom31.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom31.com. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom31.com.
Hi, this is Patty Verney. I'm the store director at Nifty Thrifty, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on News Radio 1030 KMAS.
All right, good morning to you. It's 10 to 7 here at KMAS and KMAS.com, doing the live stream on the YouTube this morning. It's going to be about 85 today, 50 now, 92 tomorrow, still in the 90s around it. You know, it's hotter here than it was during my time in California this past weekend, but it definitely feels hotter down there.
Yeah.
It feels, it's so nice to be home. Yeah, so nice. There's a great trip. It was so nice seeing people from, Colorado, the South where our family is from, and here, and we all got together, and it was great seeing everybody. It's fun seeing the cousins, the little baby cousins playing with each other. Yeah, but it's nice to be back in the friendly confines of the Radio Ranch for sure.
Yeah, all right, good. Well, it's certainly good to have you back. And yeah, it's different. I mean, California's weather may have even been a degree or two cooler, but it's just a different kind of
10 degrees. I mean, it was markedly cooler numerically.
Yeah. But
it did not feel like
it's probably they were counting Celsius.
They very well could have. They do things strange down there.
So sometimes thieves do have honor.
Oh, please tell me more.
Some thieves stole a guy's car last week. And the guy's car had an urn containing his dad's ashes. They had it made up in a little car. It was kind of cute. And his dad had suffered from Alzheimer's. And so they anonymously returned the urn to the cemetery in Everett. Members of the family say the workers there at the Evergreen Cemetery found the urn yesterday with a note explaining the ashes belonged to Richard Graham. Please return back to the family. And so they were very thankful that it's completing the whole, process. And so they were very disjointed. His mother was very upset, as the urn went missing. So. To heck with the car, though. To heck with the car.
Huh?
They kept the car.
Yeah, I don't know if they found the car yet or not, but at least the urn was returned.
Isn't that interesting? How does
It is
how does the thieves
cars
swear
probably parted out to other
they
cars
took it to
now.
the chop shop and they go, well, we can't do anything with this.
Yeah, let's send it back to where it belongs. Yeah. They made a plea. The mother made a plea on TV.
Oh, okay.
To return that, and apparently somebody saw it and was touched enough to return the urn.
Okay.
Because normally you wouldn't think that they'd give a hoot.
Yeah.
So, but they did. So it's kind of a good story, except the car's still missing.
Good story.
Yeah, yeah. Another strange story, and this one's still yet to be finished, and that's the search for a baby that all folks connected with the story believes the baby is in danger, born just a week ago. And his name is Joshua Taylor, born August 9th, at home without medical personnel.
Whoa.
Police believe the baby has not received medical treatment since he was born. They're worried that he may be suffering from drug withdrawals. His mother was a known drug user. Father, very sketchy history. And they believe the baby's with the parents and they're on the lam.
How does anybody know this even happened? Do we know?
I can't remember now. It was in Puyallup, and I can't recall but they remember that somebody saw the baby and he had blue lips and was very pale, and they said it was signs of withdrawals and it was newborn. And then the mother either was concerned about the condition of the baby, went to a doctor or a clinic, and then just swooped the baby up and took off.
Huh.
So, boom, now they're gone in the wind, and everybody's very concerned about the future or the condition of the baby.
Rightly so.
It's a little fragile thing.
6:54 here at KMAS, KMAS.com. In Pasco, Verizon Wireless no longer planning to build an almost 50-foot cell phone tower in Pasco after residents complained about appearances, health concerns, and property values. Tri-City Herald reports the city was notified that the Verizon decided to withdraw its application for a special permit. So, less service over there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's tough. So, of all the summers to have an arson loose in Pasco, this is the summer.
Yeah, right.
One person, they think, responsible for more than 50 suspicious fires that have broken out this summer in alleys around Pasco. This is just itching to become a disaster.
Yeah.
According to Tri-City Herald, the fires burned fences, garages, cars, a mother-in-law house, other structures. Unbelievably, no injuries yet reported. Chief of the Pasco Fire Department over there, Bob Gear, said the fires appear to have similarities. Most have started in alleys north of downtown, and materials or structures that are easy to ignite. So it's a simple deal, and they're doing it, and they think it's just one person. And, it's kind of a psychological disorder, arsonists. So they sometimes, when they finally boil it all down, they just got this fixation about fire.
Yeah.
And so, and the person is still out there somewhere. That's scary in this summer.
6:55 at KMAS. The news from ABC comes to you at 7, and Mary Lynn Foster just after that. Brian LaFlame will be on the air with us today with Real Estate Radio Resources.
Yes.
And also today we'll have Lynn Lungan in for our weekly EDC report, find out what's going on with the Economic Development
Check the
Council.
temperature of our economic development.
It's Tammy Newton's turn to come on the air tomorrow to talk about Habitat Takes Flight, which will be a great event on September 12th. Harbor Days coming up as well in the Olympia area.
Oh, yeah.
Port of call this week. Mark Ziegler in for the focus on Shelton on Thursday. And we'll have how was Bill Engvall?
Oh, he was wonderful. What a pro. He was saving my bacon before I even got started. So as it's been chronicled in the past, I have a little bit of a challenge over there on your side of the room.
Sure. And
so Bill was on the phone, and I knew he was on the phone. And so we were going to go, okay, so let's talk to Bill Engvall. And I'm fumbling and jumbling, and hey, Bill, and oh, geez, that's the wrong slide. Finally, I apologize. Start right out of the gate. Bill,
It's Carol Gardner, and it's Dale, and welcome to the show. You're with the second string. I apologize. And he just starts out. He goes, Dale, just let Carol run the show. First thing out of his mouth. It was so cute, and he's just a pro. And then he goes into a bit about how the wife is always right, and you should know better than to even try to do something that you can't do, and all that stuff. And so the interview went splendidly. He's looking forward, and what we learned that maybe a lot of people didn't know, his daughter went to UPS.
Oh,
Puget Sound.
Wow!
Because he goes, "This is my favorite part of the country." Well, you hear stars says, "This is my favorite part of the country." And I made some reference about, the weather being adjusted or something coming up this way. And he goes, well, actually, as it turns out, he says, my daughter wanted to go to school up here. So we came up here and did the tour around, and she fell in love with this place. And so she ended up going to UPS. He says, I was up here a lot for 4 years. He says, I love it up here.
Great. He's going to be at the Lucky Eagle on September 6th.
For Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Southwest Washington, and then he flies to New York after the 2 shows here. He's doing this as a gesture. That's very
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
The dog days are over, but cat nights are just beginning. We're on the prowl for the origin of this legend with details today on the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report.
Think you're fat? You might just be bloated. Find out by calling now for a risk-free trial of Newbiotics, the new breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast. For a risk-free trial, call 1-800-943-1059.
I used to be plagued by potbelly and constant bloating. After taking Newbiotics, my belly flattened and continues to get flatter. My sense of bloating and discomfort is gone.
If you've got a big belly, you might not be fat. You might just be bloated. Newbiotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. So just think how much better you'll look and feel. Think you might be bloated? Call now for a risk-free trial of Newbiotics and see how much flatter it makes your belly. You might be surprised. But hurry, call now for details while these risk-free trials last. 1-800-943-1059. That's 1-800-943-1059. 1-800-943-1059.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Monday, August 17th, the 229th day of the year. And this is the first night of what Irish folklore are called cat nights. The centuries-old legend says that a witch can turn into a cat 8 times, but the 9th time, and on August 17th in particular, she couldn't change back. It's almost certainly the origin of the saying that cats have 9 lives. But not all superstitions about cats are bad, though. In Russia, when moving to a new home, it's good luck to let the cat enter first. A Buddhist proverb says that a light-colored cat will bring silver to its owner. A dark cat will bring gold. An Old English lore says that when the cat of the house was black, the lasses will have no lack of lovers. That's the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report. Find more old-time lore at almanac.com.
Free Talk Live on weekdays from 6 to 9 on 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, and now in Thurston County on 92.9.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. A massive explosion rocked a shrine at a major intersection in downtown Bangkok during evening rush hour, killing at least 5 and injuring an unknown number of others. The BBC's Jonathan Head is there.
The shrine itself is very, very popular with Chinese tourists in particular who come to wish for good fortune, so it would have been very crowded. And the casualties show that. Really, really shocking event.
The casualties are said to include foreigners. A definite downside to the low cost of gasoline. Traffic deaths were up last year. ABC's Scott Goldberg has the numbers.
The better economy and lower gas prices mean more people on the roads, while cell phones and other gadgets mean more distractions. Those are 2 of the reasons the National Safety Council says nearly 19,000 Americans have died in traffic in the first 6 months of the year. That's a 14% increase over the same period last year.
Donald Trump is taking a break from the campaign trail to answer the call to jury duty in New York. ABC's Brad Milkey is there.
Trump has been summoned 5 times since 2006, but never showed. His aides say it's because the notices were delivered to a building he doesn't live in. After a weekend of flying kids around in his private helicopter at the Iowa State Fair, the real estate mogul will arrive here at New York State Supreme Court later this morning and try to avoid another $250 fine. Brad Milkey, ABC News, Lower Manhattan.
A little pink pill some have called the female Viagra could get final FDA approval this week. In a study of over 200 women, researchers found a significant difference in their experiences. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis has the details.
Where Viagra treats problems with blood flow in men, this drug, which works with key chemicals in the brain, is specifically aimed at treating hypoactive sexual desire disorder, HSDD, which affects approximately 1 in 10 women.
The commuter jet that crashed on a remote Indonesian mountainside was carrying 54 people and nearly $500,000 in government cash, the money earmarked for poor families to offset the rising cost of fuel in the country. This is ABC News.
Turbo engines rule the road these days. Sure, they're cool, but they run hot. Take the piston skirt. It can reach over 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Burning your cherry pie is one thing, but your cherry red coupe? That's why Pennzoil synthetic motor oils are designed to protect your engine, even in extreme temperatures. So fire up your turbo and protect it at the same time. Make the switch to Pennzoil synthetics and take performance to a whole new level. Visit Walmart Auto Care Center and save $4 on a Pennzoil high mileage vehicle oil change.
Gorgeous! Oh, you are the most beautiful bride I've ever photographed.
Oh!
Yes! I am witnessing a fairy tale unfold.
Oh, I don't want this day to end.
Okay, work the veil. Okay, now sniff the bouquet.
Oh, okay.
Join my rewards program?
Wait, what?
Well, for your next wedding.
How about a rewards program you'll actually use every day? Introducing Plenty. Earn points at lots of places, including AT&T, Exxon, Macy's, Mobile, Nationwide, Rite Aid, and Hulu. There's Plenty together. Learn more at plentywithani.com. Terms and conditions apply.
There's a new twist to the story of the NFL's return to L.A. ABC's Todd Ant has it.
The St. Louis Rams are back in Southern California. Well, just for a scrimmage at the Dallas Cowboys training camp in Oxnard. The Rams left Los Angeles 20 years ago, but their owner is working hard to get them back to the West Coast. Tom Bateman with Bring Back the Los Angeles Rams movement has this message for fans back in St. Louis.
No one understands what fans in St. Louis are going through more than fans here in Los Angeles when our team was taken away.
Hundreds, if not thousands, of Rams fans from L.A. are expected to greet the team.
This is a unique opportunity for Rams fans to show their support.
Todd Ant, ABC News.
It's reportedly not easy to work at Amazon. A former exec called it the greatest place I hate to work. The company, known for its clockwork efficiency, is reportedly getting its deliveries out at great cost to employees. Some say the pressure and demands are unreasonable. Some tell the New York Times employees are treated callously. Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
For KMAS Newsradio.com, I'm Mary Lynn Foster. Splash of Mason County has reached a milestone. The organization, created to help save the Shelton Pool, has surpassed its current fundraising goal of $100,000. They went over the top with a fundraiser held by the Ridge Motorsports Park. The Splash Board credits the community-wide effort and the strong support and generosity of the community for making this possible. Brad Miller, Splash Vice President, said to raise over $100,000 in just over 2 months' time is really phenomenal and speaks well of this community. Though the current fundraising goal has been reached, Splash continues to plan for future capital repairs at the pool. Donations of any amount can be sent to Splash, P.O. Box 1982, Shelton 98584. To volunteer, to help, or to find out more about Splash, email can be directed to splash98584@yahoo.com. Find that information with this story on our website at KMAS.com. At least 20 homes and businesses have burned and over 150 homes remain threatened in a series of fires in Chelan County. The fires were sparked by lightning, and more fire crews, including from the Washington National Guard, are being mobilized to fight the 6 fires burning in the area, including the Wolverine Fire and the First Creek Fire. According to reports yesterday, the Reach Complex, a series of fires around Chelan, had grown to about 54,500 acres. On Saturday, more than 1,000 people were evacuated in the Chelan area after a series of fires sprung up and merged. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has approved a number of requests to help the state pay for wildfire fighting costs. Homelessness and lack of affordable housing continues to be a problem in the area. Toby Kevin and Marilyn Vogler are on the Poverty Advisory Team. And they recently talked with people who are homeless during roundtable discussions to learn more about their situations. Vogler told Daybreak what she learned.
There was a vet there talking about the fine tent and sleeping bag he'd gotten through a program for vets at Memorial Hall. He had really no place he could put it because it's illegal to trespass on land you don't own and pitch a tent there. There were 3 or 4 people who had trailers, RVs, portable housing, but again, no land that was legal to put them on. There were people who had some rent money, but there's not enough subsidized low-income housing.
You can hear the full interview on the Daybreak page at KMAS.com. The Poverty Advisory Team meets every other Wednesday at the Civic Center at 3:30 p.m. The public is welcome. The next meeting is this Wednesday. For 1030 KMAS, FM 104.1, and in Thurston County on 92.9, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
Take KMAS wherever you go with our new free KMAS mobile app. It's a free download from either your Apple or Android device. Check out the latest news, connect with KMAS, and even listen wherever you have a signal. Search KMAS in your app store and download our free KMAS app today.
Like us on Facebook and get our local news right on your news feed. Facebook.com/1030KMAS.
Excuse me, ma'am.
We're trying to sleep here.
Yes, ma'am, but this isn't a motel. It's the Olympia Furniture Company showroom.
I just couldn't wait to try it out. I figure it's kind of like a test drive before you take the car home, right?
Here at Olympia Furniture Company, we offer home delivery. We'll even set it up for you.
But we kind of live far out in Mason County.
That's no problem. Let's ring you up so you can get home.
Oh, right. Well, he's a very hard sleeper. Do you think you could just put him in with the new furniture?
The Olympia Furniture Company delivers more than just furniture. They deliver quality, value, huge selection, and the occasional husband.
Seizing the day. Hi, everybody. Todd Ant reporting on sports. It was a day of reckoning for Australian Jason Day, who put a smackdown on the Whistling Straits course to win his first major at the PGA Championship in Wisconsin.
I'm a major winner now, and it's a good feeling. Just the amount of work that I've put into my game ever since I was a 12-year-old kid to be able to be here in this position, winning my first major is just really special.
Day also broke Tiger Woods' major championship record for most strokes under par at 20 under. Jordan Spieth finished 3 shots back, but moved ahead of Rory McIlroy in the rankings.
To be number 1 in the world as a team, this is fantastic, and certainly was a lifelong goal of mine.
Matt Kuchar and Dustin Johnson tied for 7th. Baseball, the Royals tied the Angels at 3 in the 9th in Kansas City. Then the next inning,
opposite field, base hit to left. Royals are going to win it.
On 6:10, KCSP and Kendrys Morales wins it for the Royals 4-3 over the Angels. There was a fire sale on the south side of Chicago. The Cubs' 9-game winning streak came to an end.
The 1-2. Fastball strike 3. He's got 15. For the 3rd time in 7, he has struck out the side.
On WSCR, and Chris Sale tossed 7 shutout innings in the White Sox 3-1 win over their city rivals. Giants ace Madison Bumgarner led the Giants to a 5-0 shutout win over Washington, and Bumgarner continues to help his own cause at the plate.
Bumgarner hits a high drive left field. This one is gone. Yeah, he's the best hitting pitcher.
On KNBR, Bumgarner also tied a career-high 14 strikeouts and a 3-hitter. The Nats have lost 6 in a row. The Blue Jays are back within a half game of first place in the AL East, thanks in part to Joey Bats.
Fly ball deep left center field. That's heading for the wall, and yes, sir, there she goes. A 2-run home run for Jose Bautista.
On Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and Toronto avoids a 3-game sweep with a 3-1 victory over the Yankees. Zach Greinke improved to 13-2 with the Dodgers' 2-1 win over the Reds. NASCAR pole sitter Matt Kenseth, the Sprint Cup winner in Michigan. Kevin Harvick's 2nd, Martin Truex was 3rd. Todd Ant, ABC Sports.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, 92.9 FM in Thurston County. And we are streaming audio and video this morning on KMAS.com. A good Monday to you, 7:10. I'm Dale Hubbard. Mike Zannino, Kyle Seeger each had RBI singles in the 12th inning. Mariners blow a big lead, 7-0, before edging Boston 10-8 yesterday. Franklin Gutierrez homered twice, drove in 4 runs. Seattle rebounded from an ugly start to the series as the Mariners gave up 15 or more runs in consecutive games for the first time in team history. I think giving up 22 runs in one game was a record as well.
Whoa.
They gave up 37 in the first 2, another 8. So you would do the math. 45 runs in 3 games in Boston. Boston combined for 37-11 score for the first 2, and then a 10-8 loss yesterday to Seattle. Also 5 hits, 3 ribbies from Robinson Cano, and Nelson Cruz connected for his major league leading 36th homer, if you're looking for silver linings amongst the debris.
I am.
All right, so there you go, off to Texas, where it's only 100 degrees at game time this afternoon. Mariners will take on the Rangers there down south, and it'll be a big game for Taijuan Walker. See, it goes to the mound for Seattle, and we'll begin our coverage at 4. First pitch at 5:05, and the Sounders finally win. They've been on a 4-game losing streak. They got a lot of players back on their roster that have been out playing international games and whatever. So Obafemi Martins scored 2 goals, and a new international player, Paraguayan newcomer Nelson Valdez. He was signed earlier this month. He headed in a ball from Eric Freiberg late in the 51st minute, and that's a pretty good score, 4-0, as Seattle dominated Orlando City, who hasn't been doing well this year. There's a new kids on the block. So that's a quick snapshot of sports. Jeff Slakey has a hot forecast. He brought it back with him from SoCal.
Yeah, I sure did. And a good morning to you. Happy to be back. 50 currently with the sun shining. Warming up to about 84 today. It was 81 yesterday. Sanderson Field into the 90s tomorrow, and upper 80s on Wednesday.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from where I-5 takes a sharp left toward Portland, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
Yeah, right. Good morning to you. 7:13 here at KMAS on a beautiful Monday morning, the 17th of August. Jeff and Dale here with you, and coming up this morning on the big show, coming up in about an hour, Brian LaFlame from the LaFlame Group, Real Estate Radio Resources.
Yeah.
Helping you better understand and navigate the often murky waters of home ownership.
Often murky.
Lynn Longan after that from the EDC here in Mason County. The Economic Development Council giving her weekly report on things that are going on, and news from around the Northwest. Dale, what's been happening?
Oh, well, you caught me out of sync.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at this is the day in 1962, Jeff, as we all remember vividly, that the Beatles replaced Pete Best with Ringo Starr.
Oh, man,
and was the ripple effect felt across the channel?
Yeah, I bet.
So
people couldn't believe it.
Oh, I can't believe
they thought they found the best.
They thought they had
went
the
for
best.
A star.
Yeah, you got good, you got better, and you got best. We got best. No, you got to get a star, huh? Ringo. All right.
That's interesting.
Why do they call him that? Why does he have all those rings on his finger?
Why did they? Do we know why Pete Best was replaced? Did you ever get that story?
My recollection is, and who was the manager at Brian Epstein?
Yeah.
Said, you got to get rid of that drummer. He's dragging you down.
Really?
Yeah.
And they went with Ringo. That's surprising.
Well, Ringo was the hottest drummer in the neighborhood. He was the hottest guy in the circuit. You know how all these bands today are in circuits?
Sure.
So he had the rep as the best drummer around. He had the rhythm. He got it. He got it. So you got to get that guy. That's the guy you got to get. If you're going to have a drummer, get the best. Well, you got the best, but get a different guy.
You need a star.
Yeah.
This band needs a star.
So that's how I remember it. I'm sticking with that story.
Okay.
If Paul's listening this morning, wants to change that,
would be honored
how he
to
recollects
take that call.
Things going.
I would be honored.
Or maybe Ringo himself could call this morning. Let me know. But he's pretty modest.
Those are the last two chances you have.
Kind of a modest guy. He doesn't probably want to blow his own horn or drum his own drum. I'm not sure how that plays out. What's going on in the Northwest? Did you say fires? Lots of them.
We can still talk about historical events. I don't mind.
Okay. Well, that's the musical highlight of things.
Not much else happened musically speaking.
Not really. The capital city of the United States was moved from New York City to, no, not Washington, D.C., not yet. The city of brotherly love, the home of Tebow.
The home of Tebow. That'll be, people won't say the brotherly love anymore.
No. Tebow Mania lives here.
Philly, huh?
Philly, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's where the capital city of the United States was moved to Philly from New York City, and then to Washington, D.C.
Well, they might as well sign this guy. The Mariners should. John Wadsworth of Louisville set a major league record when he gave up 28 base hits in a single game.
Well, he's our guy then.
I heard the King did not do so hot the other day himself.
Holy cow.
This, however, back in 1894, 28 base hits in a single game.
Yeah, we were close. I mean, we used other pitchers too, but we gave up 26 hits in the game. So we were knocking on the door. Yeah, that's 2 times that Felix has been just roughed up. And so now the new secret to getting to Felix is to swing early and often.
Don't wait for anything. Just go for it.
Go for it. Just start swinging at it because he grooves them in there pretty good the first couple of pitches at bat. And so now he's going to have to change his style to get, an advantage over the hitters again. Such a minute game of just fractions.
Oh, yeah.
And so, and plus you got less than a second to decide whether, less than a second, swing at it or not. And here comes an orb coming at you at 90 plus miles an hour.
Oh, and by the way, it's coming very close to your body.
Yeah.
So
swing at it or get out of the way. What are you going to do? I'm going to get out of the way.
Yikes.
Ball 4, awesome. All right.
Imagine on this day, your folks are saying, all right, little Timmy, we're headed off to the movies. Got something special for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sit down, the curtains open, and it just seems like any other movie. You're like, oh, what's so good about this? And then all of a sudden there's and then the tornado comes, and then the next thing you know, oh my gosh, that film's in color.
Yeah.
They're at the magical world of Oz.
Yeah.
The Wizard of Oz opened on this day in 1939.
It was a big deal.
I can only imagine.
Huge gasps from the audience.
I bet.
Pretty incredible.
What would be a revolution since then where you would go, I guess, maybe high definition?
Yeah.
But really,
when I saw the enormous size of the spaceship, was it in Star Wars? Or
at the opening scene of the first Star Wars.
And actually how big it was.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Okay.
That was a grabber for me. Yeah.
I'm often told about in another Star Wars, actually, Empire Strikes Back, when those big, they're called AT-ATs during the, the middle movie, Empire Strikes Back.
Like erector sets?
Yeah. And so when those fell, the whole arena shook. Yeah. And that was kind of a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
But going from black and white to color, I mean, that's like game over.
Well, especially for all of us who lived in black and white.
I know, right? It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we've got more for you coming up, including the latest in local news on the way at 7:20.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Why does Papa Murphy's offer any large pizza for just $10 on Tuesdays? Because these things also happen on Tuesdays.
Soccer practice. Softball practice. T-ball practice. Picture day. Jake's mom can't do carpool. Dentist appointments. Orthodontist appointments. Tuba lessons. Papathon. PTA meetings. Science fair. Show and tell. Book reports. Athlete practice.
Papa Murphy's $10 Tuesdays. Any large pizza, just $10. All fresh made and hot out of your oven. Make Tuesdays easier and more delicious. Fresh made, fresh baked. Papa Murphy's.
Love at 425 degrees.
Alderbrook Golf Course is 50 this year. To celebrate, they're offering a twosome Twilight Summer Special. 18 holes of golf with cart for 2 for $50. Weekdays afternoon, weekends after 1. Book a tee time right now. Go to alderbrookgolf.com. At the clubhouse, live music on Saturdays. The restaurant is open with a new, delicious menu. And think Alderbrook for hosting your next event. Find your reason to go at alderbrookgolf.com.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom31.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 31.com. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom31.com.
This is Beth Gizzi from the Salmon Center, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Hi, good morning to you. 7:22 on a Monday morning. It's 50 now. Clear skies, warming up to 84 today, and again in the 90s tomorrow, and maybe even on Wednesday. Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on a Monday, and the owner of QVC is buying online flash deal business Zulily.
What?
They have their headquarters here in Seattle, and the the CEO, Daryl Cravens, will remain as its president and CEO. It's a cash and stock deal valued at $2.3 billion. So we'll probably hear about that in the updated stock market reports a little about an hour from right now.
That's big news.
Yeah.
Financial news, lots of financial news in and around the Northwest, that is for sure. All right. We mentioned earlier this morning thieves who stole a man's car last week, and with it, an urn containing his dad's ashes, anonymously returned the urn to the cemetery, or to a cemetery in Everett. And according to reports, family members say workers at the cemetery found the urn and a note explaining the ashes belonged to Richard Graham, and could you please make sure his family gets those? And so they did, and they're happy. There was a plea by his widow a few days ago, asking for the thieves to return at least the ashes.
Keep the car, that's fine.
Yeah, please
just
return
want the ashes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Tough story in Puyallup. You got to be careful, folks. A man has been arrested for assault after he shot a friend who played a joke on him by sneaking up to his house at night. Okay, so a guy walked up to a house, was going to, pretend to be a robber or something. Who knows what happened? But this guy shot his buddy. Police say a Puyallup man was shot in the chest and shoulder when he and another friend went to the man's home late Saturday night to try to scare him. They did.
So if they were friends, they must have known he had a gun in his house.
You got to know. Shooter and the other friend loaded the victim into a car, drove him to the hospital. Shooter jailed, first-degree assault.
I think maybe the good news here in all of this is that the guy's not going to die.
Yeah, right.
Whoa, man, that is scary, scary stuff. Yeah, you got to be careful about, playing pranks on your friends.
Especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
Governor meets with the legislative leaders today to discuss how to address the Supreme Court sanctions announced last week over education funding. A unanimous court said the state would be sanctioned $100,000 a day until the state comes into compliance with the court's requirement for a full plan on education funding. There was a chlorine leak in Spokane. And one of the people that were hospitalized for it has died.
Yes.
This was at a recycling company over there.
We talked about that last week while you were gone. It was horrible. This leak happened, and they were evacuating people in Spokane, and one person passed away now from that. Man.
Chlorine's a kill. I mean, literally, it's a killer. That's tough stuff. Kennewick is in the news, and the mayor there says he'll ask the city council to revisit the city's ban on marijuana-related businesses now that the legislature has changed state law to send the revenue of taxes from those businesses to the local muni governments. The council was briefed on the medical and recreational marijuana laws during a meeting last week. At that time, they did not move to reevaluate the ban, but looks like it could be in the works.
Yeah, their side of the deal was, listen, if we've got to do policing and whatever, there's nothing but expenses on our side, and the state's getting all the profits.
Right.
So could we, get this? And so they did. I mean, they wrote it up and changed it. The state did. And so now it's being reevaluated there in Kennewick, one of the Tri-Cities.
727 here at KMAS and KMAS.com. Is Pasco another one of those Tri-Cities?
Yes, Kennewick, Pasco, and Richland.
Well, Verizon Wireless no longer planning to build a 50-foot cell phone tower in Pasco. Residents complained about the way it looks. I don't know who they called to complain to. They don't have any service. That's what they need.
Looks like a tower.
Health concerns and property values.
Okay. Well,
isn't adequate cell phone service a benefit to property values nowadays?
Yes.
Anybody?
Yes.
I don't know anyone. When my buddy, and this was 10 years ago, bought his first house, the one thing he did was walk into each room and went into each corner and checked his cell phone signal.
Isn't that something? That's probably going to become commonplace now.
And now if you're in Pasco and you have Verizon Wireless, they're going to take away they're not going to build this tower. Could affect the signal coverage.
The saleability.
And that could be a key. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. And
then health concerns. What?
I don't know.
The cancer emanating from the
I don't know what the
towers?
health concerns
What
are. Exactly.
Teaching people in Pasco.
I have no comment on that particular topic, but I can't imagine what the health hazards are. But they're concerned about something.
They were told something.
Something was something. All right. So we only look back in history, and it was on this date, 1996, Jeff, that Ross Perot announced to be the Reform Party's presidential candidate. It was the party's first ever candidate.
That was a sucking sound of the jobs going from
your jobs
down to Mexico.
Leaving America.
As a NAFTA.
You hear that sucking sound? I'm just here to tell you. I can't do his accent. He had a good delivery. Very convincing.
Very, very good. He unconventional TV star. I mean, he didn't look like your average TV star, but he really...
he had the big ears. He looked like Alfred Newman, only aged.
He kind of did.
An old Alfred E. Newman.
A couple years after that, Clinton says, yes, I did have an improper relationship with Lewinsky, White House intern at the time. Yes, we all know. And yes, I did. 2002, Santa Rosa, the Schultz Museum, Charles M. Schultz, from Peanuts fame.
Peanuts!
The museum there opened up to the public. And a few years after that, Michael Phelps, first person winning 8 gold medals in one Olympic Games. Now, I just feel as though I read a headline that said for NBC's Olympic coverage, they are perhaps not moving away from Bob Costas, but Ryan Seacrest could be manning the helm.
The new darling of the airwaves.
When it comes to Olympic coverage on the NBC network.
You know, Bob Costas has got to be thinking about taking it easy. He's my age.
He's been doing it forever.
Yeah. So I hope he does. I hope he does take it easy. Not like the end of the world. When he gets a little older, relaxes a little bit more, and works a little less. Can hardly wait.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
For KMAS Newsradio.com, I'm Mary Lynn Foster. Splash of Mason County has reached a milestone. The organization created to help save the Shelton Pool has surpassed its current fundraising goal of $100,000. They went over the top with a fundraiser held by the Ridge Motorsports Park. The Splash Board credits the community-wide effort and the strong support and generosity of the community for making this possible. Brad Miller, Splash Vice President, said to raise over $100,000 in just over 2 months' time is really phenomenal and speaks well of this community. Though the current fundraising goal has been reached, Splash continues to plan for future capital repairs at the pool. Donations of any amount can be sent to Splash, P.O. Box 1982, Shelton 98584. To volunteer, to help, or to find out more about Splash, email can be directed to splash98584@yahoo.com. Find that information with this story on our website at KMAS.com. At least 20 homes and businesses have burned and over 150 homes remain threatened in a series of fires in Chelan County. The fires were sparked by lightning, and more fire crews, including from the Washington National Guard, are being mobilized to fight the 6 fires burning in the area, including the Wolverine Fire and the First Creek Fire. According to reports yesterday, the Reach Complex, a series of fires around Chelan, had grown to about 54,500 acres. On Saturday, more than 1,000 people were evacuated in the Chelan area after a series of fires sprung up and merged. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has approved a number of requests to help the state pay for wildfire fighting costs. Homelessness and lack of affordable housing continues to be a problem in the area. Toby Kevin and Marilyn Vogler are on the Poverty Advisory Team. And they recently talked with people who are homeless during roundtable discussions to learn more about their situations. Vogler told Daybreak what she learned.
There was a vet there talking about the fine tent and sleeping bag he'd gotten through a program for vets at Memorial Hall. He had really no place he could put it because it's illegal to trespass on land you don't own and pitch a tent there. There were 3 or 4 people who had trailers, RVs, portable housing, but again, no land that was legal to put them on. There were people who had some rent money, but there's not enough subsidized low-income housing.
You can hear the full interview on the Daybreak page at KMAS.com. The Poverty Advisory Team meets every other Wednesday at the Civic Center at 3:30 p.m. The public is welcome. The next meeting is this Wednesday. For 1030 KMAS, FM 104.1, and in Thurston County on 92.9, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
Is your family doing some growing? Whether it's an expansion of your home or the addition of a new family car, Peninsula Credit Union can provide fast, friendly service with terrific rates. We offer personal lines of credit, affordable auto loans, and a variety of home loan options to get you moving. Visit our offices in Shelton, Belfair, Paulsbo, Port Orchard, and Port Townsend, or go online to pcfcu.org. At Peninsula Credit Union, our priority is you.
Wilson's going to take it around the far side. The 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Seahawks!
The Seahawks head out on the road for the first time this preseason as they take on Andy Reid's Kansas City Chiefs. Hi, this is Steve Rabel. Join Warren Moon and me this Friday. Pregame at 3, kick at 5. Right here on the Seahawks Radio Network.
We want to be legendary. Seahawks! Marshawn Lynch said, get out of my way.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, 92.9 FM in Thurston County, and streaming audio and video on KMAS.com. I'm Dale Hubbard. It is 7:34 here on your Monday morning. 12 innings, blow a 7-0 lead, but end up winning 10-8. The Mariners salvage a win in Boston with the help of Mike Zunino and Kyle Seager, each having an RBI single in the 12th. And Franklin Gutierrez, 2 home runs, drove in 4 runs, and Seattle rebounds a bit from a very ugly series where they gave up 45 runs in 3 games.
That's a lot.
That's more than is normal. Let me just put it that way. 37 runs in the first 2 games and another 8 to add to the mix yesterday. All right, that is in the rearview mirror. Seattle heads to Texas, where sweltering temperatures and rascally Rangers await. The Mariners will start with Taijuan Walker. This afternoon, we'll have our pregame for you at 4 o'clock. First pitch at 5:05. And the Sounders, with a 4-0 win over the Orlando City team yesterday in Seattle. Big win for Seattle as they get back on the winning column after a 4-game losing streak. So they were pretty happy about that. They only won one game in the last 9. And so they're getting their roster back to normal. Lamar Nagel and Obafemi Martins and some of the old names all getting back. Clint Dempsey is scheduled to return to the team next week, and so they'll be back to full speed. And they got a new kid from Paraguay, and he is an international star. His name is Nelson Valdez, and he did a header and scored a goal yesterday as well. So the offense has returned to Seattle. And they've got 12 games left this season. See if they can't make a push for the playoffs. Okay. There you go. That's sports.
7:36 and the weather forecast. It's nice out there right now. Clear sky, sunny, 50, and warming up to about 85 today. Perhaps 92 tomorrow and 90 again on Wednesday. Mid-70s for Thursday and Friday. And then Saturday through next week back up into the 80s.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now from Shelton's Media Row, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, 7:38 here at KMAS, and a good morning to you. Brian LaFlame coming up in about half an hour or so. We'll talk with him about real estate radio resources, and Lynn Longan as well at 8:30, about an hour from now, on things that are happening in the Mason County Economic Development Council. Over the weekend, KMAS had coverage of the PGA Championship, and Bubba Watson kind of gets into it with the rules officials. Did you hear about this?
No.
Bubba Watson, he is kind of testy on the golf course at times. We heard him not talk overly positive to the U.S. Open just up the road in Chambers Bay. Well, yesterday, or this past weekend, his drive on the par 5 fifth hole was right in the fairway, looking good. However, it landed eventually on an anthill.
Okay.
So he wants to take a drop. He says, come on, eyeballs in an anthill. Let's do this. Calls the rules official over. Oh, stop play. Let's all talk about this. And the rules of golf, reading this on the For the Win site on USA's Today's website, extremely nuanced, right? You gotta really take caution when you read these rules. Bubba wasn't allowed to move his ball because ants aren't considered burrowing animals. So if the ball landed on a gopher hole,
that would be a different
thing. That's a
thing.
burrowing animal. Bubba responded, so even though they dig in the ground, they're not considered burrow. And no. He says, fine. So he had to hit off of an anthill yesterday. He goes, come on, what's going on here? They are burrowing. They dug this anthill or so.
Oh.
But apparently that was one of the big things. And Jason Day and Jordan Spieth were trash-talking each other as they finished up their final round together. And good for Jason Day, now becoming the #1 golfer in the world. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, Jordan Spieth is now the #1 golfer in the world. He passed Rory McIlroy. Rory did well, coming back from that ankle injury.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was his first major since then. And he did well. He did all right. I think he ended up like 9 under for the tournament. So 17th, tied for 17th, which was a good comeback because, and what they said was most of his game was intact after the layoff. He was a little rusty on the green putting, and that proved evident. He did miss some putts that you normally see him make when he's charging. Jordan Spieth is now the new #1, with 22 years old. This is a phenomenal moment in golf right now. You think Rory, Jordan Spieth, now Jason Day. These are the guys, the young guns, the big three. Back in the day, it used to be Palmer and Nicklaus.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the kinds of rivalries that are going to really juice the game of golf again, get people all excited, and they're breaking records in their scores. No matter what you do to these golf courses, the equipment and the stature and condition of these new golfers is overcoming any kinds of adjustments that the course makers and designers come up with, and records are still being broken. Jason Day, 20 under winning score, and that's a new major record. So that is 20 strokes under what the course is designed to provide in 4 rounds of golf. Pretty amazing.
That is amazing. Also amazing was that NWA's Straight Outta Compton, their biopic was huge.
It kicked.
At the box office. $56.1 million for Straight Outta Compton, #1 at the box office this weekend. Mission Impossible at 17. The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which I also believe premiered this weekend, was at 13.5. Fantastic Four and The Gift rounded out your top 5. The film Straight Outta Compton chronicles the rise of the rap group NWA with such amazing artists as Dr. Dre was in NWA, Ice Cube, Eazy-E. Those were the main rappers on the band, and so apparently it's a pretty good movie. I mean, if you're interested in that, really, regardless of what you think of the band, they changed music, talking about their life in the streets of Compton.
Yeah, a reflection of their street life, basically. And so there is that, and there's obviously a huge market for that. Big explosion in Thailand this morning, Jeff. A large explosion rocks the central Bangkok intersection during the evening rush hour, killed at least 1 person, injuring an unknown number of others, and they don't know what the cause of the explosion was. Sounded like a loud thunderclap, and then the explosion happened. Of course, that huge explosion in China.
Saw that
a few days ago, and the count there was like 105 or so dead now, confirmed, and 65 are missing, and 35 of them are firefighters, and it's this horrible big explosion there. I was scanning the international news because North Korea sent out a verbal volley. Did you hear about this over the weekend?
What happened?
Well, every year, South Korea and U.S. troops do exercises, war exercises.
Okay, sure.
And every year, North Korea says, if you do that, we're going to blow you guys up. We're going to shoot bombs over at the U.S., and we're going to blow up South Korea.
Yeah.
So they did the same threats again on this weekend. And I think the tests were going on today, and so I was looking to see if North Korea had bombed Compton or anything.
See if South Korea is still there this morning?
Yeah. So far, no word out of Korea about anything. So.
Yeah, one other big thing that was happening this past weekend down in California was the D23. It's their Disneyland Expo. Disneyland started... Oh, that was all they were talking about on the news and down there. So it says Disneyland started in 1923, so they call it D23 as their annual expo. Well, Star Wars is coming to Disney. 14 acres of Star Wars themed lands coming to Disneyland, Anaheim, and then also in Orlando at Disney World. A Millennium Falcon ride. You'll be able to get some food at the Star Wars Cantina. The other thing, let me tell you about my trip. LAX, sure, it's a huge airport, whatever. There's a lot of people. It's a junko airport. We got to our gate. We are very spoiled here in the Pacific Northwest. Portland Airport, head and shoulders. Seattle Airport, my goodness, it's beautiful. And when you get to your gates, you have options to get food. Or you have options to get periodicals at a newsstand. Clothing.
Or a bottle of water.
There was nothing at LAX.
Really?
At least in our gate area.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything. I couldn't believe it. One of the busiest airports in the world, and I didn't even see a Starbucks.
You're kidding me.
Maybe I wasn't looking right. There was only 4.
No, I get that. Whenever I don't travel very much anymore, but there is a lot of airports that are way, way worse.
This is
than the Northwest has, and New York, not the main airport.
Sure,
what's
JFK?
Yeah, not JFK. What's the other one?
LaGuardia.
LaGuardia. So that one is an old airport. Old escalators that are really steep and narrow. And
folks, we got it good up here in the Pac Northwest. in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing. All right. Good morning to you. 7:46 here.
Already.
50 out there now, on our way to 85 today. Clear skies, nice and sunny.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Habitat for Humanity of Mason County is excited to partner with the Port of Shelton for Habitat Takes Flight on September 12th. Come to Sanderson Field for a wide variety of community activities, including vendors, a static air show, free plane rides for kids 8 to 18, a car show, live music, food and beverage, and so much more. Admission is just $5 and wristbands are available at your Belfair and Shelton Habitat stores. Save the date and come see us at Sanderson Field September 12th as Habitat Takes Flight.
My name is Alexander, and back when I was a baby avocado in the orchard, Dad would say,
"You're a Haas avocado son. You're special."
I knew in my pit I was destined for greatness, so I left to pursue my true calling. Until one day, it was right there in front of me. A 100% all-beef burger at McDonald's.
New guacamole burgers and chicken sandwiches at McDonald's with freshly made pico de gallo, guacamole made with Haas avocados, served with a slice of fresh lime.
If Dad could see me now.
At participating McDonald's, limited time only.
Are you a true Seahawks fan? Then pick up McDonald's new Hawks Box. Players on the outside, great McDonald's food on the inside. Get 2 Big Mac or Quarter Pounder with cheese sandwiches, 2 medium French fries, 20-piece chicken McNuggets, and 3 new mozzarella sticks. And pick up one of 6 Seahawks player cups, free with any large soft drink. McDonald's new Hawks Box. We got your tailgate covered. At participating McDonald's, limited time offer.
Get electronically connected to your health and medical information anytime, anywhere. You can get an internet connection with My Mason Health. View your doctor visit summaries, manage your appointments, message your provider, even monitor your medications and fitness progress, all from your computer or mobile device. Private and secure, My Mason Health puts you in control of your health record and who gets to see it. If you're not already signed up, ask how you can join My Mason Health at your next hospital or clinic visit and get connected.
Mason General Hospital and family of clinics. Equal opportunity provider. Translation services provided.
Mason General and family of clinics.
Take KMAS wherever you go with our new free KMAS mobile app. It's a free download from either your Apple or Android device. Check out the latest news and even listen wherever you have a signal. Search KMAS in your app store and download our free KMAS app today.
Good morning. I'm Thurston County Sheriff John Snaza, and you're listening to Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Yeah, for sure. And it's 7:49 here at KMAS on a Monday morning, the 17th of August. 50 out there now.
Monday.
Warming up to 84, and a good morning to you. One of the things that we did see, I didn't watch a lot of TV. We watched the Seahawks game. But some of the news, one of the other things that we saw on the television was old John Kerry was down in Cuba raising that flag, as I guess they're getting ready to do some stuff.
Yeah.
And now the relationship between Cuba and the U.S. improving. Businesses, of course, now looking to cash in on the tourism industry down there in the beautiful Caribbean country. Jim Avila has more on that one.
American businesses streaming into Havana Airport, researching the market and potential. American tourism up an estimated 35 to 50%. The Secretary of State, who toured Old Havana himself, encouraging Americans to take advantage of the newly relaxed regulations that allow specific types of tourism.
Americans getting to know Cubans and Cubans getting to know Americans, and is the way that, in fact, a transformation is going to be effected.
Cuba defying the old Cold War perceptions of secrecy and intrigue. Jim Avila, ABC News, Havana.
Yeah, I think one of the main things is considered like an educational tour. So you can go and say, I'm going on education. Anybody can. And you go and you get on a bus, you drive around Cuba and you say, oh, well, here's where this and here's that and here's how they live.
I think one of the other big attractions to Cuba, the thing that jumped out at me during some news coverage of this, classic cars.
Oh, they're everywhere.
The regular mainstream car there is 1957, 1958 Chevy.
Yeah.
or Ford.
And they're still trucking.
And there's a million of them down there. They're still the main car.
Yeah.
Old cars. I mean, wow. So car collectors will be heading there in droves.
So
because I think isn't the climate kind of conducive to keeping the bodies from, I don't know.
It seems like
seems like it shouldn't be because they're salt water and they're an island.
Yeah, and they're right next to, they always get hit by hurricanes.
But they seem to be pretty well preserved.
Yeah.
My gosh.
So you can check definitely with local travel agents on how to get down there. But it is open if, you do these certain types of tours.
And cigars.
And so somebody told me the other day, the only thing about Cuban cigars was their mystique. And if you actually smoked one, you would realize that they're not that good. There are better countries make better cigars.
Well, yeah. Well, here's one thing.
The mystique.
So, yeah. And so the evolution of cigar making and the refining of the leaf and all that, they haven't been keeping up there. So their cigars quality is substandard. So on a 5-star basis, they're probably 2 and 2.5 now.
But it got those other 2.5 stars because of, they're Cuban. There's an embargo. You can't have them.
Got to have a Cuban.
But now that people are getting the opportunity to try them, they're going, this is what we've been pining for.
Yeah, I know. That's going to be an interesting entry. And a lot of Cuban cigar manufacturing companies that were impacted by this embargo back in the day just moved to the Dominican Republic in some of these areas.
Yeah.
So you got Cubanos, not really a Cuban, but a Cubano.
Sure.
So
based on the style.
Yeah, and they've evolved. So over the last 50 years or so, there's been an evolution of cigar manufacturing. And so, they got to do some catching up on all aspects of the real world, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So here is a name for those with lots of experience on the planet, Maureen O'Hara. As I recall, red hair and green eyes. Beautiful in her day. Still a beautiful woman. 95 today.
Wow.
She was in The Quiet Man.
Okay.
But she made him, scream a little bit.
He wasn't quiet the whole movie.
No.
De Niro is 72 today.
Yeah, the Raging Bull is 72, and he still looks like he's a tough guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with him.
No, not at all. Sean Penn, 55. Well, that's about it. Jim Courier, if you're a tennis fan. And that's about all the celebrity birthdays for the day.
From NKOTB and Detective Reagan on CBS's hit Blue Bloods. Donnie Wahlberg is 46.
Yeah. New Kids on the Block. NKOB.
Yeah.
For you who are okay NBs.
And old kids on the block. Is that what that was?
Yeah. Just explain what the NOKB.
I got it. Okay, I see what you're doing there.
I'm the interpreter.
7:55 this morning.
Lead the seniors on a tour of contemporary life.
All right, we've got the Old Farmer's Almanac coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Belinda Carlisle from the Go-Go's, 57 today.
Okay.
We got the beat. Misplaced it, and I can't remember where I put it, but I had
we
it.
Got it. We got it somewhere around here. The Old Farmer, and then ABC News, and we'll come back more with Mary Lynn Foster and the latest look of local news here on Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
Yes, indeed, and we're still monitoring fires in Washington State, one of the most hard hit. This is fire season, wildfire season, and boy, I tell you what, it's happening all the time. Now, there was a small flare-up in the Tacoma area along the freeway yesterday over the weekend, man-caused, so you can well imagine. Is again, if you're a cigarette smoker, don't throw those out the window this time of year because of the tinder dry conditions. It could really turn into a tragedy. It seriously could be a tragedy.
Yeah, for sure.
So just for this one moment in time, be responsible.
Just one. Oh, no.
What's that?
Bad news for the former mayor of Cincinnati.
Uh-oh.
Do you know who that is?
No.
Jerry Springer.
Oh, yeah, I remember Jerry Springer.
In an interaction that would have made great for his show, Jerry Springer show led to a fight between two inmates at a jail in Florida. Smoking Gun reports career criminals with rap sheets a mile long.
There you
go. Started fighting with each other because they wouldn't change the channel. Police report noted that on July 28, 32-year-old suspect Antron Smith insisted on watching the Jerry Springer show at 1600 hours, as he does every day. Well, Donnie Floyd, 57, was like, no, I'm not changing the channel.
New sheriff in this block.
I'm sick of watching Springer. Smith charged this week felony assault on the guy, Clearwater Jail, awaiting trial on sex abuse charges. I mean, isn't there a hierarchy? If this, I don't know who was in there before.
One cell usually has the remote.
For the general population TV?
For that block. So say 8 or 10 or 12 cells. Don't ask me why I know so much about this.
No.
And then there's a day room where you go during the day.
Yeah. And there's a TV in the day room.
Yes, and then usually one designated power struggle for that. You know, the life is centralized into little things.
Yeah.
Like the food you eat and the TVs that you watch and the books that are available, that sort of thing. And boy, it gets
testy.
It gets nasty.
I did hear once that somebody once told me that if you ever happen to find yourself behind bars, don't start a book unless you intend to finish it during that stay, because you will undoubtedly be back to finish that book sometime in your future.
Really?
I don't know. But that's what somebody told me once. They said, hey, you know what I heard? Oh, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
One of those kind of urban legends, I suppose.
Yeah.
Don't start when you can't
I don't think that's a good place to start writing a book anyway.
Reading a book.
Oh, reading a book.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
The dog days are over, but cat nights are just beginning. We're on the prowl for the origin of this legend with details today on the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report.
Think you're fat? You might just be bloated. Find out by calling now for a risk-free trial of Newbiotics, the new breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast. For a risk-free trial, call 1-800-943-1059.
I used to be plagued by pot belly and constant bloating. After taking Newbiotics, my belly flattened and continues to get flatter. My sense of bloating and discomfort is gone.
If you've got a big belly, you might not be fat. You might just be bloated. Newbiotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. So just think how much better you'll look and feel. Think you might be bloated? Call now for a risk-free trial of Newbiotics and see how much flatter it makes your belly. You might be surprised. But hurry, call now for details while these risk-free trials last. 1-800-943-1059. That's 1-800-943-1059. 1-800-943-1059.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Monday, August 17th, the 229th day of the year. And this is the first night of what Irish folklore called cat nights. The centuries-old legend says that a witch can turn into a cat 8 times, but the 9th time, and on August 17th in particular, she couldn't change back. It's almost certainly the origin of the saying that cats have 9 lives. But not all superstitions about cats are bad, though. In Russia, when moving to a new home, it's good luck to let the cat enter first. A Buddhist proverb says that a light-colored cat will bring silver to its owner. A dark cat will bring gold. An Old English lore says that when the cat of the house was black, the lasses will have no lack of lovers. That's the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report. Find more old-time lore at almanac.com.
1030 KMAS Shelton can also be heard on K281BM Shelton, FM 104.1, and now in Thurston County on 92.9.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. A scene of chaos and carnage at the site of a deadly explosion in downtown Bangkok. A bomb blast at a shrine popular with foreign tourists and Thais has killed at least 12 and injured many others. The BBC's Jonathan Head is there.
This Buddhist shrine where lots of Chinese tourists in particular like to come and wish for good fortune. That was where the explosion had taken place. There were scenes of the most dreadful carnage when we arrived. Dead bodies and people with appalling injuries all around us. Truly, truly dreadful scenes. Obviously, a very, very powerful explosion.
The investigation is ongoing. An earthquake, short but sharp, shook things up in San Francisco. With a magnitude of 4, it was widely felt, but apparently did no major damage. Heat records could melt in the west and southwest today. Temps are well into the triple digits in Arizona, where 11 people were hospitalized after being overcome at a Cardinals exhibition game. Donald Trump is spending his morning at a New York courthouse. He reported for jury duty after a weekend at the Iowa State Fair. ABC's Brad Milkey is there.
Donald Trump arrived to jury duty a few minutes past his 9 a.m. instructions. He's slated to serve for 2 days. This just after a rule change to make sure celebrities don't get out of it. Trump has missed jury duty several times in the past. The billionaire was even fined $250. He claims the notices were sent to one of the many addresses he doesn't call home, but he did admit he was hoping not to be selected today. Brad Milkey, ABC News, Lower Manhattan.
The first drug to help women improve intimate relationships could get final FDA approval this week. The company is promising to keep ads low-key. Star Wars fans will soon be able to step inside a galaxy far, far away. Disney is adding 2 Star Wars-themed lands to its parks in Orlando and Anaheim. They'll include a mock-up of the sleazy cantina from the original movie. Disney is the parent company of ABC News. Straight Outta Compton enjoyed a record-breaking box office debut, bringing in $56 million, the best ever open for an August film. This is ABC News.
Hi, this is Lori Grenier. You've seen me on Shark Tank. I've developed, launched, and marketed over 400 products. Applying for a traditional loan is frustrating. There's paperwork, references, tax forms. You wait weeks for an answer, and you may not get the funds. There's a new way to get funding without the hassle. It's called Kabbage. That's Kabbage with a K. Here's how it works. Go to Kabbage.com, fill out the online application. It takes minutes to complete, and you'll get a decision with none of the waiting. You could have immediate access to a line of credit of up to $100,000. No fees of any kind to set up your line, and you don't pay a cent until you take a loan. It's helpful for a business to have security and flexibility. Kabbage is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. It's provided funds to over 50,000 businesses and has been named one of Forbes' top 100 companies twice in a row. So check out Kabbage.com. That's Kabbage with a K, Kabbage, or call 888-KABBAGE, the #1 online provider of small business loans.
Members of the Army Golden Knights are returning to their base at Fort Bragg with heavy hearts after losing one of their own in a skydiving accident. More from ABC's Ryan Burrow.
The Golden Knights have been put on a safety stand-down following the death of Sergeant First Class Corey Hood. Hood was part of a demonstration Saturday at Chicago's Air and Water Show when he collided with a Navy parachuter. Hood clipped a building on his descent before falling onto a Chicago street in front of horrified watchers.
It was scary. Everyone just stopped talking. It was a moment of silence.
Hood, a native of Cincinnati, was a decorated veteran who served 5 tours of duty in both Iraq and Afghanistan. He had been jumping since 2001. The Navy parachuter is in fair condition. Ryan Burrow, ABC News, Chicago.
American home builders are getting a bit more optimistic about the housing market. The National Association of Home Builders Builder Sentiment Index rose to 61 in August. That's the highest level since 2005 during the housing boom. Anything above 50 indicates a positive view of sales conditions. Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
For KMAS Newsradio.com, I'm Mary Lynn Foster. Splash of Mason County has reached a milestone. The organization created to help save the Shelton Pool has surpassed its current fundraising goal of $100,000. They went over the top with a fundraiser held by the Ridge Motorsports Park. The Splash Board credits the community-wide effort and the strong support and generosity of the community for making this possible. Brad Miller, Splash Vice President, said to raise over $100,000 in just over 2 months' time is really phenomenal and speaks well of this community. Though the current fundraising goal has been reached, Splash continues to plan for future capital repairs at the pool. Donations of any amount can be sent to Splash, P.O. Box 1982, Shelton 98584. To volunteer, to help, or to find out more about Splash, email can be directed to splash98584@yahoo.com. Find that information with this story on our website at KMAS.com. At least 20 homes and businesses have burned and over 150 homes remain threatened in a series of fires in Chelan County. The fires were sparked by lightning, and more fire crews, including from the Washington National Guard, are being mobilized to fight the 6 fires burning in the area, including the Wolverine Fire and the First Creek Fire. According to reports yesterday, the Reach Complex, a series of fires around Chelan, had grown to about 54,500 acres. On Saturday, more than 1,000 people were evacuated in the Chelan area after a series of fires sprung up and merged. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has approved a number of requests to help the state pay for wildfire fighting costs. Homelessness and lack of affordable housing continues to be a problem in the area. Toby Kevin and Marilyn Vogler are on the Poverty Advisory Team, and they recently talked with people who are homeless during roundtable discussions to learn more about their situations. Vogler told Daybreak what she learned.
There was a vet there talking about the fine tent and sleeping bag he'd gotten through a program for vets at Memorial Hall. He had really no place he could put it because it's illegal to trespass on land you don't own and pitch a tent there. There were 3 or 4 people who had trailers, RVs, portable housing, but again, no land that was legal to put them on. There were people who had some rent money, but there's not enough subsidized low-income housing.
You can hear the full interview on the Daybreak page at KMAS.com. The Poverty Advisory Team meets every other Wednesday at the Civic Center at 3:30 p.m. The public is welcome. The next meeting is this Wednesday. For 1030 KMAS, FM 104.1, and in Thurston County on 92.9, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
We are the suckers of the world. No other country would run themselves the way that we're running our country. We're the only developed country in the world that doesn't have a national health care system. We're one of the few developed countries in the world that doesn't offer free college education and trade schools to anybody who's a high school graduate. We got $1 trillion in student loan. No other country would even consider that. We are the suckers of the planet. Why? Because our political system has been bought off by billionaires and big corporations. Hi, Tom Hartman here. Join me 9 to noon on News Radio 1030 KMAS.
Be a part of something big by getting your personal share of Mason PUD3's 75 kilowatt community solar project. Register with PUD3 today for your chance to be one of the first owners of shared solar in Mason County. You'll get all of the direct benefits of your own solar energy system without some of the biggest hassles. To learn more or register online, go to masonpud3.org/shared solar. Mason PUD3, clean, renewable, and reliable energy every day.
Seizing the day. Hi, everybody. Todd Ant reporting on sports. It was a day of reckoning for Australian Jason Day, who put a smackdown on the Whistling Straits course to win his first major at the PGA Championship in Wisconsin.
I'm a major winner now, and it's a good feeling. Just the amount of work that I've put into my game ever since I was a 12-year-old kid to be able to be here in this position, winning my first major is just really special.
Day also broke Tiger Woods' major championship record for most strokes under par at 20 under. Jordan Spieth finished 3 shots back, but moved ahead of Rory McIlroy in the rankings.
To be number 1 in the world as a team, this is fantastic, and certainly was a lifelong goal of mine.
Matt Kuchar and Dustin Johnson tied for 7th. Baseball, the Royals tied the Angels at 3 in the 9th in Kansas City. Then the next inning,
opposite field, base hit to left. Royals are going to win it.
On 6:10, KCSP and Kendrys Morales wins it for the Royals 4-3 over the Angels. There was a fire sale on the south side of Chicago. The Cubs' 9-game winning streak came to an end.
The 1-2. Fastball strike 3. He's got 15. For the 3rd time in 7, he has struck out the side.
On WSCR, and Chris Sale tossed 7 shutout innings in the White Sox 3-1 win over their city rivals. Giants ace Madison Bumgarner led the Giants to a 5-0 shutout win over Washington, and Bumgarner continues to help his own cause at the plate.
Bumgarner hits a high drive left field. This one is gone. Yeah, he's the best hitting pitcher.
On KNBR, Bumgarner also tied a career-high 14 strikeouts in a 3-hitter. The Nats have lost 6 in a row. The Blue Jays are back within a half game of first place in the AL East, thanks in part to Joey Bats.
Fly ball deep left center field. That's heading for the wall, and yes, sir, there she goes. A 2-run home run for Jose Bautista.
On Sportsnet 590, the Fan, and Toronto avoids a 3-game sweep with a 3-1 victory over the Yankees. Zach Greinke improved to 13-2 with the Dodgers' 2-1 win over the Reds. NASCAR pole sitter Matt Kenseth, the Sprint Cup winner in Michigan. Kevin Harvick's 2nd, Martin Truex was 3rd. Todd Ant, ABC Sports.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, 92.9 FM, Thurston County, and online video and audio on KMAS.com. I'm Dale Hubbard. It is 10 past 8. Mike Zunino, Kyle Seager each had an RBI single in the 12th inning, and Seattle Mariners blow a big lead, but do end up edging the Boston Red Sox 10-8. Yesterday, Franklin Gutierrez had 2 home runs, drove in 4 runs, and Seattle rebounded from an ugly start to a series in which the Mariners gave up 37 runs in the first 2 games and another 8 yesterday. So if you put it all together, that adds up to 45 in 3.
Whoa.
And we might also mention that the 37 runs were done in 16 innings and not 18 innings because they didn't have to even get up in the last half of the 9th inning. Yikes. What's up with Seattle's pitching? There's a question.
That is a good question.
It's a heck of a question. And we're keeping it clean this morning because it's Monday. All right, Jewel Lloyd, 18 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and Ramul Takashiki added 13 points and a career-high 9 rebounds. Where's this all going? Well, the Seattle Storm rallies and wins over the San Antonio Stars 72-63 yesterday. In Seattle, Sue Bird, 13 points, 5 assists for Seattle, who's now 7-19 on the season. And Sue Bird moves past Tangela Smith to 11th on the WNBA all-time career scoring list with 5,049 points. Those are your highlights from the wild world of sports. Here's Jeff with the weather forecast.
Well, it's beautiful out there right now, 56 and clear, warming up to 84 today, which was about the high yesterday. Into the 90s tomorrow and upper 80s for Wednesday. Back into the mid-70s Thursday and Friday. Again, it's 56 now. And good morning to you.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email, or Facebook. Now, from somewhere in the wilderness of the Olympic Peninsula, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, we've all been there. Sick kids, broken cars, and stuff.
It happens.
Life. So Brian LaFlame of the LaFlame Group, missing in action this morning, but we know where he is, and we know how to get a hold of him if we need to. We'll wait a week, though, before doing so. So we'll suspend our visit with Radio Resource Real Estate this morning, and we'll move ahead to Lynn Longen coming up a little after 8:30, and our Monday report on EDC, the Economic Development Council.
8:14 at KMAS and on the web this morning at KMAS.com. And we encourage you to stop by, check out the stories, and add your thoughts and insights to that, as well as liking us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/1030 KMAS. And once again, we're streaming the big show on the YouTube this morning.
The big show!
Check us out at the KMAS YouTube channel.
As we welcome Jeff Slakey back.
Oh, it's so nice to be back.
Yeah.
Really, it's nice to be back. I had a great time, and it's good to see folks from all across the country, family members, for a big wedding down in Southern California. It was actually at the church at Loyola Marymount, the university there. Beautiful campus.
Yes.
Man, if I was thinking back to the little work I did at Western with the wind and the rain and and you get to Loyola Marymount.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's the beach.
You should have went to that school.
Yeah. I would have done very well for myself, probably. I don't understand how anybody gets anything done. So I asked my cousin the same thing. He says, well, you spend a lot of time in the library. I go, well, I hope the library doesn't have any windows.
Yeah.
It was picturesque.
Yeah.
Esque, as it were.
Yeah.
Beautiful campus. Gonzaga Bulldogs play Loyola Marymount, and we'll have the games this season as they travel through the WCC into the double NCAA tournament, and hopefully do better than last year, as they got to the Sweet 16 last year, if I remember correctly.
I think they did.
Well, regardless.
They always do.
Bulldogs are great. And we'll have them on the radio for you.
They're always exciting. They always hit the postseason. They always do well. They've been in the NCAAs for, I think, 17 years in a row, and which is like, I think, the current streak right now, the longest streak, or maybe the second longest streak in the country of making it into the dance, the big dance. And so ever since Mark Few's been there, I don't think they've missed a beat.
He's great.
They'll either first or second in the WCC, and they either win their tournament or they're a seed because of their placement, and they go.
Yeah.
It's just almost like they've got a spot circled there. Okay, that's where Gonzaga's going to play.
Pretty much.
Pretty awesome stuff, and we're always excited to be a Gonzaga supporter. As a Washington State Cougar football, we're going to ramp up our coverage of the Cougs this year, and Bob Robertson's still in the booth, still doing the handoffs between play-by-play duty and the halftime report, and the pregame report, and the postgame reports, and he's always involved, and he's well into his 80s.
Oh, yeah.
And still blowing and going, and I've had the pleasure of knowing Bob now for 25 years, and he's just a nice guy. He's as nice as he is off the air as you hear on the air. Just a down-home, unpretentious, and knowledgeable. Man, does he. And he's got such a history of Northwest sports. He was a Cub reporter. I think I've mentioned this. When I was a little boy, I'd be hiding under the blankets with my little transistor radio listening to Seattle Rainier games. And Bob Robertson was the backup color commentator guy to the main announcer dude. And so it was like his rookie years as a sports announcer. And it was kind of crackly and fading in and out, but I can remember the name, and then I tracked that all these years. And so
that's great. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Driving home from the airport yesterday, you see it on the sides of the highways, and you see it even on surface streets, areas, patches of burnt.
Yeah.
And people are still throwing their cigarettes out.
Oh.
Well, it gets worse as we move to Pasco this morning. Investigators say one person may be responsible for more than 50 suspicious fires broken out in the summer in alleys around the Pasco area. The Tri-City Herald says fences have burned, garages, cars, mother-in-law houses, other structures. Thankfully, no injuries have been reported.
No injuries yet.
Pasco Fire Chief Bob Gear says the fires appear to have similarities. Most have started in alleys north of the downtown area with materials or structures there easy to ignite. And all it takes, is one little misstep or misjump from the fire, and it really could cause some serious damage, as we've seen some big explosions and fires in China and Taiwan.
Yes.
There was this huge explosion on Thursday or Friday of last week. And then you mentioned that something was going on yesterday or this morning.
Yes.
Or last night, their time, however the time zones work. But there is another event that happened. So you just got to be cautious. And then when people go out and do these other things, that's just, that's bad news bears. It is still, regardless of the rain that it was here on Friday, it didn't do hardly nothing.
It didn't do anything.
It didn't do anything.
No, it didn't do anything. Might have kept that day's events down a little bit, and it helped our hay fever.
Yeah.
That's about it. That was about it. Yeah, and so they probably are pretty close to finding out who this is. If they think it's one person in all these fires, and they're all in the similar area, you can well bet there's some well-placed surveillance going on now.
I would hope so.
And they'll catch him. I think they'll catch him this week. Or her, or them. But they think it's just one person.
Could be just one person.
Yes, indeed. So there is that. Now, tomorrow, we're going to begin the celebration of, we won't begin the celebration tomorrow, but on September the 4th, it's the Harbor Days, big tugboat races and maritime festival going on in Olympia. Down along the waterfront there and Percival Landing and all that area. It's awesome. It's the 42nd year they've been doing Harbor Days, and we'll be talking to some of the folks who are going to throw that all together. It's this morning, or this time tomorrow morning. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
Even the Deadliest Catch crew is going to be on hand Labor Day weekend for that. Yeah.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Attention MMA fans, ready for more rage in the cage? Saturday, September 26th, Lucky Eagle Casino brings you Apocalypse in the Cage 2. MMA kickboxing and traditional boxing live in their event center. Doors open at 6, first fight at 7, and a Lords of the Cage title fight in the main event. Tickets start at $45 at LuckyEagle.com and the Lucky Eagle box office. Don't miss the action. Saturday, September 26th at Lucky Eagle Casino and Hotel. I-5 to exit 88, Rochester, Washington, where you belong.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom31.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom31.com. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom31.com.
Hi, this is John Patch, host of Talking Pets. Have you ever experienced unconditional love? Well, do you know what it is? Well, you can find out on Talking Pets every weekend right here on KMAS. I'm here with special guests every week to discuss your concerns and answer your questions about the ones who love you the most, your pets. So sit back or pick up the phone and give us a call at 866-606-8255. That's Talking Pets every weekend right here on 1030 KMAS and FM 104.1.
Good morning, this is Chief Deputy Ryan Sperling, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS.
Hi, good morning to you. It's Daybreak here at 8:22. Marilyn Foster in a couple minutes from now to check in the latest in local news. 56 now, on our way to 85. Bee apocalypse. Bee Mageddon. You know, we hear about this honeybee thing, how honeybees are, oh my gosh, the honeybees.
Yeah, where are they going?
Well, don't worry about it.
How about zombies?
Well, there are zombies, but the American honeybees are dying. You know, we all heard about this.
Yeah.
Well, the situation has become so dire that earlier this year, the White House put out the first national strategy to promote the health of honeybees, whatever.
Okay.
But it looks
like
I think things are called it off because U.S. honeybee colonies hit a 20-year high. The headline from the Washington Post this morning.
What was all this hand-wringing that we heard?
Well, it kind of all started with the first colony collapse disorder in 2006.
Okay.
And that was perhaps the lowest, although it dipped a little more in 2008. But it looks like things are starting to be on the mend.
Oh, good.
And I just read another thing that the bassist for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Flea, has started an aviary in his backyard and houses 200,000 bees. So he's doing his part to help fix the bee population.
If they didn't sting people, I'd raise bees.
I mean, honey is great. They do good things. They pollinate and whatever.
They say the disposition of a honeybee is really not very good. I mean, they're not mad or mean or anything like that, except for you catch them in a jar and shake them all up and stuff like that. You know, if you're taunting them or messing with them, they're going to sting you. But remember, honeybees, if they sting you, that kills them. They sacrifice their life to sting you. So they're not really, they don't really have a propensity to do that. They just as soon go about their business. So for the most part, they're a pretty mellow species.
Reading further in this article, it appears the natural bee population perhaps is a little bit on the decline, but the beekeeper population is on the rise.
Yeah.
And with the advent of the interwebs, you can order queen bees online.
And get your own little hive started.
Yeah. And then
make your own honey.
And then just like that, you got some healthy hives and 3 pounds of packaged bees plus a queen for about $100. So
with relatively cheap, then you build your little thing and they build their thing. And
you're good to go. So
I don't even know how that works.
I don't either. Pretty interesting.
And then how do they stay in your yard?
Well, they're not just going to fly around. You can't train them. can't put a little zapper
Collar?
on there.
Can you put a collar on them?
Collar on them. Don't go past here. Got to stay in their bee honey hive thing.
So Mom watched your dogs while you're in California.
Yeah. Okay. They did good. It was actually Simon's birthday. It showed up on our thing. I don't know what day we adopted him or something. And so we've had Simon from Shelton's adopted pet for 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
Winston for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And the boys, it was nice to see him home.
It
was nice to see the doggies.
They were happy to see you guys.
They weren't as excited as I thought they'd be.
Yeah.
I think because my mom spent a lot of time with them.
Yeah.
So they had companionship over the couple days.
So all you did was just interfere with their normal
with their routine.
Yeah.
So, but it was good.
Oh, you guys are back again.
Happy to
Comes
be
that
back.
little kid.
I got an email before I left from Fire Chief District 4, Bob Burbridge. He says, you got to go to Tommy's Burgers. Oh, they're the best.
You were going to go to In-N-Out,
Well,
too.
I missed the In-N-Out. We went to Costco, and there was an In-N-Out in the parking lot, and it was just a cluster. So we decided to move away from that.
Did you go to Tommy's?
We went to Tommy. Well, here's the deal. He sent me a picture. Says, you got to go to Tommy's. It's the best. And so right down the street from where we were staying was a place called Thomas's World Famous Burgers.
You're thinking, it's got to be it.
It's the same. So we go to this place, and I take a photo of the receipt, and I send it to Bob Burbridge. And I go, hey. He goes, no, it's the wrong place. I go, oh, Bob, this is still good. But if you need food advice, Fire District 4 Chief Bob Burbridge, he knows his stuff.
All right.
He knows his eats.
In addition to all the other
stuff
vast knowledge that he has amassed in his short life. Wow. Yeah. So he's a burger connoisseur as well.
He is a burger connoisseur.
I didn't know that. I knew there was a reason I liked him.
Yep.
The Zion fire, the Cabin Creek fire, the Gold fire, big fires all over. These are 3 new lightning-caused fires that were reported late last week. Carol was on top of all that. Hood Canal Ranger District of the Olympic National Forest. Smoke jumpers, lots of resources, trying to get everything suppressed. Of course, the Paradise fire has been ongoing for months now. So these are kind of the topics of conversation that are typical in August. The problem is that we've been talking about these kinds of things for months and no end in sight. Another hot week ahead of us, dry, tinder conditions, and the drought just compounds the danger. And so when we do get storms like we had Friday, goodness gracious, loud rumbling, thunder, big flashes of lightning. Those things are what causes a lot of these fires, are these summer storms, especially when everything's so dry and it's just all fuel. Boom. So we're trying to get through it as best we can. Our hearts go out to the folks in the Chelan area.
Oh, yeah.
Just thousands of acres of fire, and some of the flames are huge. And the guy says, I was like in that Volcano movie with Pierce Brosnan. He says, I was trying to outrun a fire at 60 miles an hour. He says, I couldn't believe it. That's scary.
Yeah.
That is really scary.
Dante's Peak.
That
was that one.
Exactly.
Volcano was the one in Los Angeles when it went down. Some of the roads that we were on, it was interesting to see where they funneled the lava. They've all cleaned it up since then.
That's good to know.
On the line to check the morning stock numbers, Karen Shade.
Volcanic personality in her own right.
I love you.
Hi, Karen Shade.
Hey, how are y'all?
Swell. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
You have a good weekend?
I did. I was over with all that smoke, so my voice is a little groggly today.
It is a little groggly. You go over there frequently. Do you have a friend over there?
I actually have friends who were at their house was surrounded by the fire, and they were okay.
Did they do anything to any preventative maintenance?
Well, yeah, as soon as the fire started, they started watering all around them. They had a fire truck in front of their house, protecting their house.
Wow.
And then they had the fire crew out there actually backfuel the fire when they start another fire to go into the fire.
Yeah.
And they did that to kind of stop it going up the canyon.
And you go there, why? Just to get in the middle of the fire?
I went there actually for a Tow Truck Association Expo.
Oh, I should have known.
And we tried to set the record for the longest tow truck parade in the United States, but we got it for this side of the Mississippi. We had 124 tow trucks.
Karen, how do you get involved in these things?
My boyfriend used to own a tow company, so we are big in helping at the expo every year.
All right.
So
I knew there was
it
a
was kind of
story
fun.
here. Who's the Grand Marshal on something like that?
I was in truck number 3, so I wasn't the Grand Marshal, but I was
No, but who was the Grand Marshal?
another one of the towing companies. Yeah.
They have tow trucks from where? Like
We had tow trucks coming from Canada, Washington, Montana, Oregon.
Is Big Tow Truck out of Seattle still in business?
I do believe they are, but they're not part of this association.
Okay.
Are there
We're
a
the
lot
good
of
tow trucks.
Are there a lot of differences between tow trucks?
There are actually a lot of different classes.
Huh.
We had some really old tow trucks that were from like 1920s there.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And then we had the big, huge ones that tow the big semis.
Yeah.
18-wheelers. I don't know all the classes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Those big ones are awesome.
Oh, they are. We had some really pretty ones. We had a Seahawks one.
Really?
Classic.
Yeah.
You got to have
They
that.
are from Seattle area.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was fun. But just the smoke yesterday was unbelievable.
Oh, I bet.
You couldn't even see the hills in Wenatchee. It was so bad.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
that's horrible. The film that they had in the
I know it is. So in fact, our friends are over on this side because they have no power. They don't anticipate getting power for 4 days at least.
Yeah, that's so bad.
I know,
I
it's
feel so
sad.
bad for everybody.
Yep.
It's horrible.
Bad stuff.
Hey, Wall Street, are they doing okay?
They are.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah, U.S. stocks reversed early losses and are now trending higher as investors weigh data on housing and manufacturing as the Federal Reserve considers the pacing for higher interest rates. Manufacturing activity in New York State fell to the weakest level in August since 2009 due to steep drops in the new orders and shipments, although optimism of future businesses improved. A separate report showed confidence among U.S. home builders climbed in August to the highest levels in almost a decade, indicating that residential real estate market continues to improve. U.S. bond prices are higher. So far this morning in the S&P 500, the best performing sector is healthcare, while the worst performing sector is consumer staples. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 32 points at 17,509. The Standard & Poor's 500 index is up 0.21 at 2,091, and the NASDAQ Composite Index is up 17 points at 5,066. This morning, volume on the New York Stock Exchange is moderate, with 170 million shares being traded, and advancers are outnumbering decliners by a roughly 5-4 margin. In the commodity markets, the spot price of gold is up $3.13 to $1,118.22. The spot price of silver is up 7 cents to $15.33, and crude oil prices are down 18 cents to $42.32. In the bond markets, the 30-year Treasury yield is currently 2.81%, and the 10-year Treasury yield is 2.16. In stocks of local interest, Amazon is up 50 cents, Costco is down 33 cents, Boeing is down $1.14, Starbucks is up 35 cents, and Microsoft is up 3 cents. This is Karen Shade of Edward Jones, member SIPC, serving individual investors with personalized attention and long-term financial advice. I'm located at 1051 Southeast State Route 3 in Shelton, and if you'd like additional information, you can contact me at 426-4590, and daily commentary is also located on our website at edwardjones.com.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
For KMAS Newsradio.com, I'm Mary Lynn Foster. Splash of Mason County has reached a milestone. The organization created to help save the Shelton Pool has surpassed its current fundraising goal of $100,000. They went over the top with a fundraiser held by the Ridge Motorsports Park. The Splash Board credits the community-wide effort and the strong support and generosity of the community for making this possible. Brad Miller, Splash Vice President, said to raise over $100,000 in just over 2 months' time is really phenomenal and speaks well of this community. Though the current fundraising goal has been reached, Splash continues to plan for future capital repairs at the pool. Donations of any amount can be sent to Splash, P.O. Box 1982, Shelton 98584. To volunteer, to help, or to find out more about Splash, email can be directed to splash98584 kmas@yahoo.com. Find that information with this story on our website at kmas.com. At least 20 homes and businesses have burned and over 150 homes remain threatened in a series of fires in Chelan County. The fires were sparked by lightning, and more fire crews, including from the Washington National Guard, are being mobilized to fight the 6 fires burning in the area, including the Wolverine Fire and the First Creek Fire. According to reports yesterday, the Reach Complex, a series of fires around Chelan, had grown to about 54,500 acres. On Saturday, more than 1,000 people were evacuated in the Chelan area after a series of fires sprung up and merged. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has approved a number of requests to help the state pay for wildfire fighting costs. Homelessness and lack of affordable housing continues to be a problem in the area. Toby Kevin and Marilyn Vogler are on the Poverty Advisory Team. And they recently talked with people who are homeless during roundtable discussions to learn more about their situations. Vogler told Daybreak what she learned.
There was a vet there talking about the fine tent and sleeping bag he'd gotten through a program for vets at Memorial Hall. He had really no place he could put it because it's illegal to trespass on land you don't own and pitch a tent there. There were 3 or 4 people who had trailers, RVs, portable housing, but again, no land that was legal to put them on. There were people who had some rent money, but there's not enough subsidized low-income housing.
You can hear the full interview on the Daybreak page at KMAS.com. The Poverty Advisory Team meets every other Wednesday at the Civic Center at 3:30 p.m. The public is welcome. The next meeting is this Wednesday. For 1030 KMAS, FM 104.1, and in Thurston County on 92.9, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
Hi, I'm Ken Slater, the Roof Doctor. If you're like me, your family's important, so make sure that they're well taken care of. One of the best ways to do that is to provide a safe and warm home to live in. For over 50 years, the Roof Doctor has been helping families stay safe and warm by building roofs that last for generations. Our teams have some of the most experienced roofers in the area, and we only use the highest quality materials to keep your family safe, warm, and dry. That's the Roof Doctor. Give us a call.
Take KMAS wherever you go with our new free KMAS mobile app. It's a free download from either your Apple or Android device. Check out the latest news, connect with KMAS, and even listen wherever you have a signal. Search KMAS in your app store and download our free KMAS app today.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch Daybreak live. Follow the link on KMAS.com or search KMAS Radio on YouTube. For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, 92.9 FM Thurston County, audio and video on KMAS.com. I'm Dale Hubbard. It is 8:38 already here on a Monday. Monday's almost over.
Yep.
Well, for those of us
for the morning show,
5 o'clock. Some are just rolling out of bed right now.
Some are getting close to just starting their day.
Yeah, exactly right. All right, Mariners, I don't know where to begin. So they gave up 45 runs in 3 games in Boston. They gave up 37 runs in the first 2 games. Record-breaking, historic performances all the way around for everybody, and Felix was part of that mashup, and it was horrible. Then they jump out to a 7-0 lead on getaway day and blow that. They have to go 12 innings and finally win 10-8. That's really all you need to know. Nelson Cruz, league-leading 36th home run yesterday.
That's good.
So that's good news there. And Franklin Gutierrez continues to just put a wallop on things. He had 2 home runs in yesterday's game. So when he's healthy and he's playing well and his arthritis isn't kicking up on him, and he's a young man, that's so scary. Anyway, he is really contributing a lot. But, boy, the bullpen and the pitchers, woeful right now. I don't know what happened, but they're in Texas where it's only 100 degrees, and they should have just a wonderful time playing 3 games there every afternoon in Arlington. Taiwan Walker starts for Seattle. We'll begin our coverage at 4 today from a puddled Rick Riz and company.
And then first pitch at 5:05.
Okay.
Now, it may take some time for the new rookie receiver Tyler Lockett to receive and learn all the nuances of being a pass catcher, but he did. He can still be an impact player his first year, and he showed that in his debut against the Denver Broncos. 4 kickoff returns, 186 yards, 1 punt for 18 yards. One of those returns, 103 yards.
Yeah. Saw that
awesome.
one. Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah, for a touchdown. And so he was the big winner of the day as far as, the Seahawks are concerned. That was the one thing they were worried about was special teams and a punt returner for the season. Well, that's their guy. Obviously, he's their guy. So that's the bright spot. You could hear Tom Cable actually yelling from here this morning over at the VMAC because he's very got a lot of work to do with the offensive line. They were porous. They weren't part of that where you can spray it on the screen door and no leaks.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
They weren't
about.
that.
No, they were not.
Oh, that's sports. Jeff, what do we got for weather? Nearly 100 degrees over here.
It is hot. You got that right, bud. We are looking now, 56 clear skies, 85 the high today. So it's about the same as yesterday. Tomorrow, we're again in the 90s. Expect 90s again on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Mid 70s, though, on Thursday and Friday. We'll be back into the 80s Saturday and into next week. I mentioned 56. That's what it is right now. Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email, or Facebook. Now, from the capital of the great state of Washington, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. Monday morning, 8:42, and weekly now we talk with Mason County Economic Development Council Director Lynn Longen. She's in studios. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hi.
How's your Monday so far?
Great. Happy Monday.
Yeah, indeed. Well, you got a smile on your face. That's the key.
Do I look like I'm excited to get back to it?
You do.
I am.
Oh. Well, good. And exactly what are you getting back to?
Lots of stuff.
Okay,
It
you
feels
guys
like
have been busy.
We have been busy. Not just me. I mean, the whole organization and, all of our partners. It seems like things are really starting to happen. The city's been really
Pack
busy.
Mountain,
Pack Mountain is Pacific Mountain Workforce Development Council.
That's the people I'm talking about. So
Yes.
they've got that special new little deal opened up now next to the work source.
Right. We got the transition center opened up. Every time I go in and stop in, there's former Simpson employees in there. Looks like people are starting to get settled and figure out what it is they want to do, which is a good thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right. And they have, some of their peers there to help guide them through all of it. And
I think that's a great idea.
yeah. Yeah.
And it smooths the transition, too.
It does. It does. This was, it's never easy. This is a hard thing. And so now you have some people to help guide you through it. And
yeah. Psychologically, you lose your job in a deal like this and you think maybe it's your fault.
Sure.
You feel bad about yourself.
Right. Yeah.
I'm out of work. I'm only 38 years old. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And
there's stages you go through. You go through the anger. You're angry at the company, the grieving process.
There truly is that.
And then pretty soon you kind of get through those and you're ready to start planning.
Yeah.
And so that's why the transition center is there to help people start planning.
Yeah. I think it's a great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're already starting to talk about another job fair. So the first job fair was so soon after the shutdown. In fact, they weren't even all the way shut down when we did it.
Correct.
That a lot of the employees
weren't ready.
They weren't ready. They didn't know where it was they wanted to go. The reason that we really did it that quickly, though, was because there were a number of them that just wanted to get to work fast. And there were also a number of businesses that were calling us. I have this many jobs. I want to hire Simpson employees. So anyway, it was a really good, very successful, good turnout. We figured over 300 people were there, of former Simpson employees and their family members and others in the community.
Right.
So that's the thing about these job fairs is we might be doing it in response to the Simpson closure, but they're for everybody, anybody who's looking for a job. And so we're planning another one. And this time we think we'll have even more businesses.
Wow.
That's what we're trying. We're going to try the same criteria that we did before. To be at the job fair, you have to be hiring at least 3 employees, 3 positions. Yeah. So we're starting that. We're looking in October.
I think that's tremendous. Yeah. Good idea. Yeah. Do another.
That community center was a buzz.
Yes.
When we walked over there and take a look at it, and man.
It really was. When we opened the doors, we practically got mowed over. So, so we'll do that, and we'll do it down the transition center again, or the transit center again. Sorry, transition center, transit center.
Yeah. Well, it's Monday.
Yeah, it is.
What do you got in your notes over there?
So, I got all kinds of stuff. We're going to do dinner at the park with the Chamber of Commerce this week on Thursday nights. Yep.
Okay.
Green Diamond is sponsoring, along with Hama Hama Oyster, Taylor Shellfish, and Seattle Shellfish.
Wow. That'll be a
6
fun
p.m.
one.
I think it'll be it will. The Chamber's done this in the past, and this year they're letting the EDC partner with them.
Okay, very
to
good.
do it. Yeah, 6 p.m. You have to have reservations, so call the Chamber, 426-2021.
Okay. That sounds like a good time. Thursday night?
Thursday night,
Okay. All right.
6 p.m. In fact, there's a trail if you want to do a walking tour with Patty Case and learn more about, what the nature walk at 5:15 if you want to get there early.
Okay.
I met with Elisa McCormack. She's the new Director of Community Affairs for Hall Equities Group. And, lots of people have met with her. She's met with the city. She's been, going and doing her rounds and meeting with everyone. I met with her last week and asked her, what can I share with the community? Are you guys ready? She said, definitely let everyone know that the Hall Equities Group is moving forward with the development, and they hope to start phase 1, the groundbreaking, real soon. And, I think we'll be seeing some activity there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be such a great thing for this time, for this community.
It would.
It'd be awesome. Something new to focus on.
Right. I've also been talking to her about other things too. So even though the phase 1's the retail development, they have an area for light industrial and, and maybe there could be some manufacturing. I've been talking to her about different options. So
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if we don't know who's coming in, just to see some movement, we'll put people in a little, okay, good.
Right.
Finally, something's happening. That's
and I
pretty
think
great.
we will. I think we'll start seeing something pretty quickly with them.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just letting people know, we're working with Sierra Pacific Industries too.
Yes.
We're working with them. We're working with the city through the permitting. They should have their demolition permit. I believe it's the end of this month, and get moving on that. And they absolutely intend to open up within 2 years. So it's a pretty solid date, that by July 1 of 2017.
Oh wow.
It's a pretty solid date.
They're auctioning off the equipment inside the mills here soon too.
Right. I don't have the date.
I don't either,
right.
but it seems to me it was pretty soon they're going to have.
Yeah, I think it's within the next week, maybe 2, but I think it's within the next week.
What does that mean? Like what?
Well, so for all the saws and all the big conveyor belts and all the big mill equipment, that's useful to another mill somewhere else.
Okay.
So those kinds of companies would be interested in piecemealing the parts that they need, and so they're going to have auction for all that stuff.
Wow.
Try to get it all sold and out of here for a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
Cool. Right.
Yeah.
And they had the ribbon cutting for the Ridge, the go-kart track last week. That was lots of fun.
Yes.
I went out and rode one.
Did you drive?
Drove one.
Drove one.
I didn't rode. I drove.
Well, I set a course record there on Wednesday. No, I
Did you stay on the track?
I stayed on the track.
Oh, good for you. Me too.
Yeah. Did somebody miss a corner that in your group?
I'm not going to talk about who it was.
Come on, dig a little dirt here. We want to know.
I mean, some of those
Who do
courses.
we got to watch out for coming down Railroad Avenue? They can't keep it on the road.
How fast do those things go? I mean, how fast do you feel like you got it? I mean, did it feel like the wind?
It can go up to about 50, 55 on the straight stretch.
Oh, yikes. I don't
It's
know about that.
possible.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah, but
And
they
you're
got
low to
them
the ground.
totally programmed and geared for the corners too. So, I mean, it's relatively safe, but it works you out.
Right.
Yeah, and the corners are, oh man, that's pretty cool. Pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Really exciting.
So that's another big come to the county and try this out.
Yeah. More of the wild side of Washington is
right.
some of the theme that they're using here for jumping out of airplanes and driving on the Ridge racetrack and
yeah,
scuba diving.
Yeah, whatever works.
Yeah.
Whatever works. Great.
Yeah, go tease an octopus.
Right.
Whatever.
I go over, so my office is up at our community credit union up on the hill across from Roosters. And when I go over to Roosters, there's always these race cars in there, like getting gas and stuff. So I just started asking people, why are you here? Of course, the Ridge.
Yeah.
Sure. Where are you from?
Where are you from? Yeah.
Almost always, it seems like, well, not almost always, but more times than not, it seems like they're coming from British Columbia.
Really?
Canada.
Yeah, big draw
So
from there.
They're actually coming even from out of country. And then I say, how long are you here for? And like the last time this guy says, well, my group, we come at least once a month, at least. We try to do more during the spring and summer months.
Yeah.
And he says, we stay for 2 nights, 3 days. And so it's just, that's a draw. And that's, that is an economic
That's
boost.
great.
It is. It does impact us.
It does.
And we want to keep that in mind. They're great because they're so low key as far as assimilating into the mainstream of the community. They're out there at the racetrack all day long.
Right.
But they do come out to eat at night and maybe have a couple of sips. And so they're around town. They're spending money. And like you say, they buy gas. And
I don't want anybody to think that I think that's our recovery for economic recovery.
No,
it's not.
But it's
we do need to
it's
get
a
some
helper.
industry in here, but I just want to note that does help.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Lynn, thank you for your Monday visits.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Good. Well, come back again next Monday then.
Okay.
And we'll have more stuff to talk about.
All right.
Maybe you can share some of your camping stories with us.
No.
Okay. All right. 8:52, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale. We'll put the wraps on a Monday here in just a few moments. Stand by.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Habitat for Humanity of Mason County is excited to partner with the Port of Shelton for Habitat Takes Flight on September 12th. Come to Sanderson Field for a wide variety of community activities, including vendors, a static air show, free plane rides for kids 8 to 18, a car show, live music, food and beverage, and so much more. Admission is just $5 and wristbands are available at your Belfair and Shelton Habitat stores. Save the date and come see us at Sanderson Field, September 12th, as Habitat Takes Flight.
Peninsula Credit Union presents PHIL. PHIL stands for Peninsula Home Improvement Loan. Designed to help you get things done around the house, PHIL can help you a little or a lot. This is not a second mortgage. With a Peninsula Home Improvement Loan, you can get 7.24% APR on a 60-month loan or 7.49% APR for 120 months. From replacing the roof to new flooring and everything home-related in between, take advantage of a Peninsula Home Improvement Loan and PHIL will help you get the job done. Call Peninsula Credit Union today. 800-426-1601. That's 800-426-1601. Or apply online at pcfcu.org. OAC. See representatives for details. Limited time offer. Additional terms and conditions may apply. Annual percentage rate is effective as of June 11th, 2014. Loan amounts from $500 to $15,000. Terms available from 60 months up to 120 months. For payment examples, call 800-426-1601.
Hi, this is Terry Allen with a look at the community calendar on KMAS. Nonprofits post your events on KMAS.com. Union's annual Community Salmon Barbecue will take place Saturday the 29th at the Union Fire Hall, 3rd and Seattle Streets. Get your tickets in advance at the new Community Church office or Alderbrook Country Store, both on the corner of Dalby and McCreevy Roads. It's Saturday the 29th from noon to 6. See our community calendar for details. For KMAS News Radio, I'm Terry Allen.
Hi, this is Steve Rabel from the Seattle Seahawks, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on Newsradio 1030 KMAS and FM 104.1.
All right, it's 8:55 here at KMAS. 56 out there now. 85 will be the high today. 92 tomorrow. 90 on Wednesday. It is hot.
Quit bringing that California weather.
It is hot. Well, I tell you, Dale, it is warmer here than it was down in Los Angeles, but it felt hotter down there. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's all the buildings or just the throngs of people, the throngs and thongs of people, or whatever.
Was there a lot of thongs?
No, I saw two dudes in thongs. I didn't see anybody else in thongs.
Okay.
One was like even almost floss-like material, as I had to really kind of squint my eyes and then wash them out heavily, trying to figure, is this guy even wearing anything?
Yeah, he's wearing something.
Something, not much.
Oh my goodness.
Kaiserowski loved going out on the water, and my only wish, if I could take two things from LA and bring it here, it would be In-N-Out and then warm ocean water.
You like that
which is it's on the way.
Yeah.
But Kaiser loved being on the sand with his little toes, and he was able to walk into the water and hold himself up with the waves splash. So those are my two, if I could bring it.
Yeah. Nice. So that must have been fun for you.
He loved it. And my dad, my God, he's good with kids. Tell you what, he took Kaiser and he had a great time. And but it is nice to be back. And so I wasn't on the air Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. By Friday, I was ready to be back with my second family. Everyone here on the air.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
It was great.
Shelley Lively will be in studio with us tomorrow to talk about the upcoming Harbor Days on Labor Day weekend. Oh, it is a big celebration in and around the Port of Olympia, and rootin' tootin' Tammy Newton.
Yeah, sure.
We always love our visits with Tammy. Tamarama is going to talk about the Habitat Takes Flight and a big fundraiser for Habitat for Humanity of Mason County. And that is our agenda for mañana. Stay cool this afternoon, everybody. And we will catch up with you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Daybreak with Jeff and Dale. Stick around. We have lots of great programming. Tom Hartman is next, and Mariners baseball at 6. 5-4 tonight.
To Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
The dog days are over, but cat nights are just beginning. We're on the prowl for the origin of this legend with details today on the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report.
Think you're fat? You might just be bloated. Find out by calling now for a risk-free trial of Newbiotics, the new breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast. For a risk-free trial, call 1-800-943-1059.
I used to be plagued by pot belly and constant bloating. After taking Newbiotics, my belly flattened and continues to get flatter. My sense of bloating and discomfort is gone.
If you've got a big belly, you might not be fat. You might just be bloated. Newbiotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. So just think how much better you'll look and feel. Think you might be bloated? Call now for a risk-free trial of Newbiotics and see how much flatter it makes your belly. You might be surprised. But hurry, call now for details while these risk-free trials last. 1-800-943-1059. That's 1-800-943-1059. 1-800-943-1059.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Monday, August 7th.